Fu Jiuli fell silent. Shen Nanxing waited a moment, but he said nothing. He lowered his gaze, concealing the intense lust he couldn't hold back. She struggled to slip from the man's embrace, then plunged into the cold pool. Without a second thought, Fu Jiuli's heart sank, his eyes turning toward her. Sure enough, he saw the woman furrow her brow tightly, emitting a pained moan, her face draining of color, twisted in agony. Without hesitation, he strode into the cold pool, ignoring the bone-chilling cold that swept over his body, swiftly reaching the woman's side and pulling her into a tight embrace. He circulated his internal energy through his meridians, enveloping her in his warm body heat. Gradually, perhaps the chill had ebbed. The woman's trembling form finally stilled. But in its wake surged the fiery desire radiating from deep within him. Striking anew, his face flushed crimson, and reason slipped away once more.
Hey, snap out of it. Keep your hands still. Don't take it off.
But it was no use. Right then, the woman's fair cheek pressed close, her red lips kissing and nuzzling that wall-like, solid chest, as she too began to burn with heat. Where her skin meets his feels cool and soothing. Deep down, she doesn't want to part from him. In that moment of hesitation, she somehow freed one hand, pulling at it right in front of her. The light yellow doodle came undone by his touch, drifting away on the water. Now, bare to each other.
That is all right.
But the words never got to leave her lips, for her searching red lips finally found his, pressing urgently against them. The man could hold back no longer, his large hand cradling the back of her head, taking charge with a fierce, devouring kiss. Trailing downward. Not enough. Still not enough. Shen Nanxing arched her neck high, like a fish gasping for water, clinging desperately tighter to him, ever tighter. Both of them drawing nearer in frantic urgency, until her hand brushed the edge of the scar at his waist, barely half an inch inward, and the man went rigid all over, his face draining of color, before he suddenly shoved her away from his arms. The sudden force caught her off guard, sending her stumbling backward uncontrollably, until she slammed into the pool stone wall with a thud, a pained groan escaping her lips.
I'm sorry.
Shen Nanxing jolted awake from the sudden stab of pain in her back, and the abrupt loss of that enveloping warmth, the biting chill of the cold pool's waters, now fully pulling her into clarity.
Stop using your internal force. It won't do any good if you just pretend you're not cold. Get out of here. No need to suffer alongside me.
The man said nothing, nor did he leave the pool, but he didn't dare draw near her again. Instead, retreating to the spot directly across from her, leaning against the stone wall and shutting his eyes. The two faced each other from afar, and before long, frost crept over both their faces. After what felt like an eternity, her shivering voice pierced the stifling quiet of that narrow space.
Fu Jiuli, this time, will you take responsibility for me?
A heavy silence stretched on, so long that Shen Nanxing began to wonder if the man had simply dozed off, not having caught a word of what she'd said.
Do you truly no longer care for King Jing?
You don't believe me.
The man fell silent once more. When just days ago, she had been brimming with joy at the thought of marrying King Jing. Yet in that pivotal moment, lost to delirium, the name on her lips had been his unmistakably.
If you're really that stingy about it, I'll team up with you to make it happen. What went down today, keep it just between us. It won't spread a word. If you cross paths with a man under the new moon someday, I'll pull strings to seal the deal for you too.
No matter who steals my heart, you, the 9000-year-old matchmaker, can make him tie the knot with me, right? It is Fu Jiuli who has caught my eye. So, I beg the 9000-year-old to step in and smooth things over. Get him to take me as his wife. Sound good?
Don't spout such nonsense.
Didn't you just say that whoever I fancy, you could make him marry me? And it has only been a heartbeat since then. Has the 9000-year-old already backed out? Don't tell me you didn't know the 9000-year-old's promises only hold for a fleeting moment.
I am a ruthless soul. I'm fated never to take a wife in this lifetime. So please, Miss Shen, find yourself a worthy match.
I don't mind. Didn't you say so yourself? After tonight, once I've soaked in the cold pool, my body will be depleted, and I'll be unable to father children. After allying with Prince Jin, I became an abandoned husband. Tell me, which promising young man would want to marry a barren, discarded husband like me? I see. What I meant was, he is not worthy of the 9,000-year-old. It was my foolish delusion.
It is no delusion, Miss Shen. You're wonderful. It is I who am unworthy of you. Miss Shen, don't sell yourself short. There are countless fine gentlemen who hold you in high regard. You'll surely find the perfect match meant for you.
Do they truly think me worthy?
Think me worthy.
And you? Do you think me worthy?
I do.
So, you...
3 years.
What?
It was said that, after 3 years, Miss Shen still hadn't taken a fancy to any man. Still, Wen Yuan would still marry me, so I'd come to the Marquise's mansion myself to propose. But it said that before then, Miss Shen had found her beloved under the new moon. Our agreement would be off. What do you think, Miss Shen?
Shen Nanxing's heart leaped with joy inside, and she suddenly stood up, nimble as a little fish, darting right up to him in a flash. Gazing into the man's surprised eyes, she tilted her head up, reached out with both hands to cup his face, and swiftly pressed a kiss to his lips.
Miss Shen, what are you doing?
3 years is way too long. By then, I'd be an old maid. How about 3 months instead?
Her voice soft and coaxing, she asked tentatively, but all she heard was his quick shallow breaths, with no reply from him.
3 months then. What do you say?
Hearing her playful wheedling, a sudden tingle stirred in the man's heart. His resolve softened, and he nearly gave in right then.
Just 3 years. Miss Shen didn't agree, so let's call the whole thing off.
我同意. Can I just say yes?
And one more thing. Over these 3 years, you need to keep your distance from me. No more of this getting handsy.
Why not? He is my own Fiao, and I can't even touch him myself. What is the logic in that?
Have you ever heard of an engaged couple fooling around like this before? They're even married. Besides, you and I aren't even engaged yet.
It is just a verbal promise that once I divorce Prince Jin by mutual consent,
I'll have my grandfather send a matchmaker to formally propose to you. You'd better hurry up with it. Prince Jin's always trying to take advantage of me. He even drugged me. If divorcing by mutual consent proves too hard, then he can just repudiate me. I'm fine with that too. I don't mind at all.
What bothers me is him repudiating you as if he deserves the right.
My fiancé's absolutely right. He doesn't deserve it.
What I'm saying is, for these 3 years, you and I are nothing to each other. If after 3 years, your feelings for me are still the same, then we'll decide our future. Got it?
What you just did. The way you just came at me like that, you've seen it all, touched it all, and now you're calling it clean. And now you're saying it has nothing to do with me. Like it doesn't matter who you've laid eyes on. A wave of shame.
Fu Julie parted his lips, but for a moment, he had no idea what to say, so he sidestepped the subject.
Go wait over there. You're too close to me. It'll mess with the recording.
Shen Nanxing's face stiffened. She bowed her head and turned away, swimming off. Once she had obediently retreated to the pool's far side, soaking quietly, Fu Julie finally exhaled, slow and heavy. She had kissed him once, hugged him tight, and his body had stirred with something strange and unfamiliar, leaving his mouth parched, his lower belly burning, clenching hot. His mind flooded with the urge to pull her close and ravage her. In that instant, the man felt utterly vile, his heart brimming with self-loathing. That stab from 8 years ago. And here he was, still daring to harbor such forbidden thoughts. Fu Julie lowered his gaze, the endless darkness swallowing his eyes once more. After leaving the pleasure boat, Shi Tingyu headed straight to the estate. Meanwhile, he dispatched a man to the Lai Prince mansion to track down the whereabouts of the 9,000-year-old. Little did he expect that, upon arriving at the estate, the door would be answered by a total stranger, a man.
Who the hell are you? What are you doing here?
That is rich coming from you, young sir. This is my house. Where else would I be, if not here?
What the hell are you babbling about? This can't possibly be your house. Where is Shen Zhi? Get him out here.
Listen, young sir. This is my home. If you dare break in, I'll report you to the authorities.
You bastard dare threaten to report me.
All he did was sleep with a maid. And now you're cuckolding him. He was trembling with rage. And with one furious shove, he sent the stranger sprawling to the ground. Then, guards in tow, he stormed inside.
Shen Zhi, get out here! Murder!
Someone's breaking into my home! Nada! Help!
The capital was crawling with guards on patrol everywhere. And right then, a patrol squad happened to be close by. Hearing the cries, they rushed over in a flash.
What is all the commotion? Sir, a band of unknown riders just burst into this humble commoner's home. And they even beat this commoner half to death. They've gone into my room again. And my wife's in the middle of her bath.
At that moment, Shile, the Vice Minister of War, leading the patrol, caught sight of the chaos. Without a word, he waved his hand and charged in with his patrol team. After Shi Tingyu stormed inside with his men in a fury, he snatched a long sword from a guard's hand and made straight for the side chamber. Seeing the door shut tight, he kicked it wide open, and a woman's startled cry rang out. The woman sat in the tub, clutching her chest with both arms, staring in panic at the doorway. Spotting a strange man with a drawn sword standing there, she froze in terror and unleashed a piercing scream. Shi Tingyu froze in shock.
You're not Year. Where is Year? Where have you taken Year?
But the woman wasn't hearing a word he said, just screaming her head off nonstop.
Amei, you okay, Amei?
At that instant, the man who'd opened the door earlier shoved Shi Tingyu hard and barged right in, taking in the scene as his blood boiled with rage, spreading his arms wide to shield the tub.
Aren't you leaving yet? What more do you want? Insolent! Stand down!
With that, he led the way and strode out of the side chamber, only to look up and see the scowling Assistant Minister of War, Shile. Shi Tingyu felt a wave of embarrassment crash over him.
Humph! Lord Shi, I had no idea Prince Jing had a taste for breaking into private homes and spying on respectable ladies at their bath.
Lord Shi, there is a misunderstanding here. Let's get out of here first, and I'll explain everything to you in private later.
By the laws of our northern Yue kingdom, even the Son of Heaven who breaks the law shares the guilt of the common folk. Surely Prince Jing isn't trying to bribe me. To make me pervert justice.
Shi Tingyu's face flushed and paled by turns, knowing Shile's stubborn nature all too well. At this moment, if he didn't clear things up right on the spot, he might just haul him away in irons.
Lord Shi, there is indeed a misunderstanding. This place was bought by me, the prince, a few years back. It is actually a private holding of the Jing Prince's mansion. My favored concubine took a shine to this residence, and she has been staying here these past few days. Today, I came by just like always, but a stranger answered the door. I feared something had happened to my concubine, and in my panic, I forced my way inside. Please, Lord Shi, look into this matter clearly. Why are there strangers living in my residence?
Just then, a voice rose from the crowd gathered outside.
This house was sold yesterday, at half the usual price. If I hadn't been short on silver, I'd have snapped it up myself.
I had plenty of silver, but by the time I went home to fetch it, the house was already sold. What a steal for the Zheng couple.
I was really jealous of them at first, but now, right after Prince Jing's mansion sold the house, Prince Jing shows up with his men and barges in, claiming over and over that the house still belongs to Prince Jing's mansion, even breaking into their side chambers. Hee. Oh dear, what a breach of trust. The Zhengs are in deep trouble now. Talk about bad luck.
Sold. But do you have proof?
At that moment, the man of the house consulted his wife, then stooped over, emerged from the side room.
Lord Shi, this humble commoner, Zheng spent his entire fortune yesterday, and even borrowed some more from friends, just to barely afford this residence. This is the house, deed for your inspection. Today, Prince Jing barged in without permission from this commoner and his family, trespassing into this humble home uninvited. Not only did he beat this commoner senseless, but also insulted his wife. Please, Lord Shi, stand up for this poor commoner.
This can't be happening.
Shi Tingyu hurried forward a couple of paces, and while Shile was helping him up, that man suddenly snatched the deed right out of his hand.
Impossible. Could my son not have sold this house?
He strode over and seized the Zhang heir by the shoulders, his face contorted in wild frenzy.
Confess the truth. Where did you get this deed from? Did you steal it?
Your Highness, that is no way to behave. Prince Jing, the late Emperor's decree. In our North Yue kingdom, whether sovereign or subject, all must cherish the people like their own children. How dare you lay violent hands on a citizen of North Yue in plain sight? Is that not a grave insult to the late Emperor himself?
Shi Jianming deceived me first. Tell me, where did you stash the silver? Drag the scoundrel out now.
Prince Jing, we'll sort out how this house changed hands. The authorities will have the final say. No more harassing the common folk. Prince Jing, you'll come with me to the Yamen.
2 guards stepped forward, flanking Shi Tingyu on both sides, and extended their arms to escort him away.
Shile, You corrupt wretch! Those low-born scum from the Samming Society mortgaged my estate deed, and now they've abducted my woman! And you're still shielding them! If you dare lay a finger on my woman, even a single hair, I'll make your life a living hell!
Just then, a sharp voice cut through the crowd.
I saw a woman get tossed out of that house yesterday. Not sure if it was Prince Jing's favored concubine.
Auntie, you saw it too. I saw it clear as day. It was Prince Jing's manor servants who chucked her out. That woman was barely in her undergarments. Poor thing, what a sorry sight.
Yeah, clothes all torn and ragged. Just dumped out like trash, covered in dirt and grime. No idea where she'd even go. But how do you know it was Prince Jing's servants who threw her out?
You sure you didn't mix it up?
Hey, no way I'd get that wrong. I don't know the servants, but I know Prince Jing's steward like the back of my hand. He comes to my third uncle's grain shop all the time to stock up. I've seen him enough times to spot him anywhere. I saw it with my own eyes. It was him barking orders at those two servants to hurl that woman out.
Ye got tossed out, barely covered in her inner robes. All on that steward's command to Prince Jing's servants.
Shi Tingyu finally found Shen Zhiyi in a small courtyard.
Brother, Xu, how did you find me here?
Shi Tingyu's heart ached so fiercely he could scarcely draw breath. He took a step forward and pulled the woman into his grasp, pressing her close against his chest, holding her tight.
I'm sorry. Your brother Yu has made you suffer.
Shen Zhiyi said nothing. Just let him hold her. And as he lowered his gaze, he caught sight of the faint red marks dotting her slender neck, which instantly brought to mind the wild, desperate passion of their night together. A sudden impulse surged through him, and he scooped her up in his arms, impatiently kicking open the door to the side chamber. Before gently laying her down on the bed, the man devoured her soft lips with urgent, hungry bites, met by her fervent response, before everything naturally gave way to a trail of passion downward. 2 hours later, as the sun began its slow descent, the fervor on the bed finally ebbed into quiet stillness. Perhaps worn out from the exertion, the man now breathed steadily, clearly fast asleep. The woman carefully eased herself away from beneath him, picked up her scattered clothes from the floor, and slipped them on. Then, enduring the deep ache in her limbs, headed to the little kitchen. As Xi Tingyu stirred awake, he instinctively glanced beside him, and realized he lay alone on the bed. He hastily threw back the covers, rising to catch faint rustles from outside, mingled with the warm scent of home-cooked meals. His frantic heart easing into calm. Dressed and stepping into the courtyard, he found a small wooden table set with an elegant array of 4 dishes and a soup, flanked by a flask of wine.
What a pity.
Brother Jade, dinner's ready.
Coming.
They passed dishes and poured wine for each other, chatting and laughing as if years had slipped away, until the table stood empty of cups and plates, as twilight softly descended.
Brother Jade, you should return to the manor. Don't keep your wife waiting.
Come back with me.
I'm not cold. I still prefer living in this little courtyard. It is a tad small, I know, but I can stay here as long as I please, without worrying about being shown the door. Brother Xu, if you ever miss Yanner in the days to come, you can come here whenever you like. Yanner will always be right here, waiting for you, Brother Yu.
What do you take yourself for? What if I never show up? What will you do then?
That won't happen, Brother Yu. You'll never forget about Yanner.
Even if your mind starts to fade on me.
What if Brother Yu truly forgets all about you are?
What then?
Then Yanner will have nothing but a green lamp and ancient Buddha for company, for the rest of this life.
With those words spoken, the woman covered her mouth and broke into uncontrollable sobs.
My foolish, sweet girl.
She wept bitterly in his arms, her sobs shaking her body.
In life's moments of triumph, with a woman like this by your side, what more could a man possibly want? Come back to the palace with me. Just give me a little time. I'll make you my principal consort as King Jing.
But you're already betrothed to the noble daughter of the Nanyang Marquise's house. She is of such high standing.
And yet, she doesn't deserve you.
Shen Zhiyi finally followed Shi Tingyu back to the Jin Prince's mansion. But just as they reached the gate, she timidly tugged at Shi Tingyu's sleeve, stopped in her tracks, and wouldn't take another step inside, her body trembling ever so slightly.
My dear, what is wrong?
I wonder if sister has come back.
Sister?
It is just the princess consort, my sister. From now on, I'll listen to everything sister says. I won't do anything to upset her. As long as She lets me stay by Brother Yu's side and doesn't chase me away. Oh, I'll take good care of both Brother Yu and sister.
Who asked you to take care of him?
No one did. But if I don't try to win her over, what if she chases me away again? I just want to be with Brother Yu. As long as she is willing to let me stay by his side. I'd even be her slave or maidservant if that is what it takes. Brother Yu, you can rest easy. Oh, I'll learn from Meng Meng how to serve sister properly. As long as I can keep her happy, maybe she won't send me packing.
With those words, she lifted her head and gently wiped the tears from her eyes.
Q, my brother, let's head inside.
You don't need to grovel to her or cater to her every whim. This estate belongs to this prince, and she has no right to banish my woman.
With those words, he swept the woman into his arms, and they made straight for the New Orchid courtyard. But neither of them could have foreseen that the once glittering New Orchid garden now stood faded and forlorn, drenched in the pallor of dust and despair. Inside, it looked as if thieves had stripped it bare. The nightingale scrolls, fine porcelain, and jade ornaments all vanished without a trace. Even the trees in the courtyard had been uprooted, along with every flower and plant inside and out. The room screens, even the tables, chairs, and ornate beds, all of it gone. Not even the jade tiles flooring the side chambers escaped. They'd been pried loose. Then, glancing upward, the glazed tiles from the roof had been torn away entirely. He turned back with a glance at Shi Tingyu.
Ju, my brother, our home, it is gone.
This time, Shenji's sorrow cut deep. Seized by a rush of qi to the heart, she spat up a gush of blood.
Physician!
Scram! Summon Keisai! Tell him to rush here and save this prince!
Before long, the middle-aged steward, his hair and beard all white, trembling with fear, knelt in the dusty New Orchid courtyard, shivering uncontrollably. Seeing the prince fly into a rage, he quivered even more, pulling a silver note, stamped with a grand seal of the Four Directions Bank from his bosom, and handing it over.
My lord, this is what the princess consort instructed this humble servant to deliver to you personally.
Shi Tingyu's face darkened, but when he glanced at it, it turned out to be a hefty silver note for 50,000 taels of silver, easing his mind just a bit.
What is going on in the New Orchid courtyard?
Doesn't this silver note explain everything? My lord, even the items from Star Orchid Courtyard were all sold off on the princess consort's orders to raise funds.
And that silver!
The steward froze again. Had the prince not looked closely at the silver note he'd given him?
My lord, take a good look at what is in your hand.
You mean to say this 50,000 tael silver note came from selling off things in the New Orchid courtyard?
No. Selling off everything from Star Orchid Courtyard wouldn't even come close to that much. It is not just the New Orchid Garden, as well as the estates under the prince's mansion, the shops, the fine fields, and the farmlands and estates, right. And your highness, even your private shops have been sold off clean.
What did you say?
Shi Tingyu flares up in anger once more, simply refusing to believe it. He forces down his towering rage, as the steward confirms it.
But that is not nearly enough. The princess consort even sold off plenty of valuables from the south courtyard where you live, and only then did she manage to scrape together these 50,000 taels.
Shi Tingyu feels like he hears something snapping inside his head. For a moment, everything spins around him, his head about to explode.
So you basically sold the entire princess mansion to come up with these 50,000 taels of silver?
Your highness, this was all on the princess consort's orders. She said it was the 50,000 taels you desperately needed. This humble servant didn't dare disobey. Mother consort, this was all extra that the princess consort raised. You don't actually need these 50,000 taels of silver at all. The princess consort said, if you have any objections, just go find her directly. Don't come to me. And don't drag anyone else into it.
Where is the princess consort?
Didn't you yourself tell the princess consort to go boating on the lake last night? If even you don't know, how would this humble servant know? The princess went boating on Jingyue Lake with you last night, and she hasn't returned to this day.
And she hasn't returned to this day. And she hasn't returned to this day.
Just thinking of that woman, how she was drugged last night, lost in a haze of passion in his arms, and yet she called out that eunuch's name from her lips, only to be snatched away by men in black right after.
Guards, drag the steward out and beat him to death.
My lord, this humble servant was just following orders. It was all at the princess's command. And just because she is your consort, how could this lowly one dare disobey her? Besides, the princess said, you are in desperate need of that 50,000 taels of silver. So anxious you couldn't sleep a wink. This servant only wanted to ease your burdens, my lord. Please, my lord. Have mercy in your boundless generosity. Even if this worthless fool erred somehow, won't you spare me for all these years of loyal service to the estate? Spare this wretched life of mine.
I beg you, my lord.
My lord. Please, spare this pathetic wretch.
The two guards had already stepped forward. But seeing the Lord give no further command, they dared not move a muscle. They could only wait. The old steward saw that though the Lord ignored his pleas, he issued no further orders. Deep down, he knew his life was spared, for now.
My lord, it was the Wang Fei who said, she was the lady of the house here in the prince's mansion, and the estate's holdings were hers to manage as she saw fit. If this has you all riled up, wishing she could just come back, you could tell her straight to her face.
She won't be coming back.
The steward's face went blank, not grasping what his lordship meant by won't be coming back. Frozen, unsure how to even respond. Just kneeling there in a stupor, his arms still wrapped tight around the prince's legs.
Enough. Where'd all the stuff from Xinlan Yuan get sold off to? Buy back every last piece you can redeem. And for whatever's gone for good, get something even finer.
The steward froze up again, after scrambling all yesterday to sell it off. And now today, it is all gotta be bought back.
This back and forth will cost us a pretty penny in silver, I'd wager.
Well, what are you waiting for?
The steward jolted like he'd been shocked, scrambling to his feet and bolting out the door.
Jade brother, what is sold after all, and here wouldn't mind if they're gone. Look, that silver's bound to come in handy somewhere, so don't go throwing it away on me.
Those are all the things Yuan loves, so Brother Yu's got to hold on to them for her.
But that silver from Shennangsing, it is gone for good.
Her dowry's quite the fortune, and it'll rightfully bolster the prince's estate one day.
A faint trace of smoke flickered in the man's gaze. That woman poisoned by rejuvenation fragrance, missing all through the night. Either she is burst apart and died already, or she is off tangled up with some rogue lover. Whichever it is, her dowry along with those iron cavalry troops, they'll all fall to him by rights.
Your Highness, the princess has returned.
Netherworld Valley. The longer she lingered in the chilling pool, a thin frost crept over her pale, delicate face. Earlier she'd managed a few words with him, but then she fell silent. At least her breathing had been steady. But now, why's her breath so faint? Barely a whisper. He only hesitated a moment, before swimming swiftly toward her. Just as he drew near her side, he caught sight of her ashen, bloodless face, lifeless, as she slipped beneath the icy waters. Fu Zhuli's pupils constricted sharply, and he surged forward like a blade. The instant his hand touched her body, the man shuddered involuntarily.
How could she be this freezing cold? You're always so much colder than me.
For a moment, he couldn't think straight at all. He quickly channeled his inner energy through his meridians, pulling her close into his embrace, enveloping her in his warmth.
From then on,
Whenever he heard her shiver from the cold, he'd hold her even tighter. Yet, she still trembled in his arms. She murmured softly, pressing desperately against him, wanting to get closer, even closer still. Their clothes were just too much in the way, always keeping her from drawing fully near. Shennan Xingou a bit frustrated, so she fumbled blindly, tugging and rubbing at him, putting all her strength into it, until she managed to loosen the fabric at his chest. Fu Zhuli went rigid all over, his hand twitching upward, as if to gently push her face away. But then he saw the hazy longing look in her eyes. In the end, he only let out a soft sigh, and let his hand fall back down. But who could have guessed she'd stay still for only a moment, before her restlessness returned, catching him off guard, as she suddenly gripped with both hands, and stripped away his outer robe once more. Her undergarment was already torn to shreds by him, leaving just the outer layer draped over her. And now that he had pulled it off, her upper body was bare once again.
All right then. Let go of me, Shennan Xing.
I feel Julie. I'm freezing.
Fu Zhuli let out a deep sigh, completely at a loss with her, and could only turn his head away.
Averting his eyes from Shen Deijing.
What are you doing?
The man's heartbeat nearly came to a halt. The sensation of her touch so vivid, like never before. Everywhere their skin met, burned like fire. His mind a total blank.
Shen Nanxing, let go!
But the girl clung tight, her warm little round face pressed against his firm chest, finding it so comforting and safe.
Not letting go.
You have no shame!
Oblivious to what shame even is.
The girl mumbled to herself, her fluffy head nuzzling against his chest once more.
Don't move.
The man's breaths came heavy and ragged, his body trembling faintly, his gaze now a smoldering sea of ink, like wildfire on the plains. On the verge of losing all control, drawing on his last shred of clarity, he struck her unconscious with a single palm.
Master, you're awake.
Shen Nanxing frowned as she took in her surroundings and realized she was in a small unfamiliar room.
Shenye! Dr. Shen! Our master is awake! Please come take a look!
Come in. What is the big rush? Yeah, lass. Any place where you're feeling off. Hey, this old man asked where on your body you're feeling unwell. Didn't you hear me?
Then let me ask you, where is he? Didn't you hear that?
The old miracle doctor shot him a glare.
You won't even say the name. So how is this old man supposed to know who you're talking about?
Shen Nanxing fell silent, her dark eyes quietly fixed on him.
I mean, you little girl. How come your temper and nature are just like that boy's? Both of you so darn infuriating. He is gone.
Seeing Shen Nanxing ignore him, he sneaked a glance at him.
He just left you here all by yourself. Doesn't want you anymore.
Master, to steer clear of trouble, Mr. 9,000 years old has taken his leave.
See, I told you he was done with you. He thinks you're more trouble than you're worth. He up and left on his own. And dumped you right in my lap.
Shen Nanxing kept his head down, sipping his water, ignoring him completely. Now, with the drug's effects fully faded from that haze, his mind was sharp as ever. So sharp, he could clearly recall last night on the pleasure barge, how he'd first sensed him lurking nearby, how he'd deliberately downed that fateful cup of wine, how the black-cloaked assailants had snatched him away, how he'd been rescued and carried off to Yingming Valley. Then, the two of them in the frigid pool. A delayed surge of shame washed over him, burning through his whole body. His face scorching hot. Thank goodness he wasn't here right now. Frankly speaking, he couldn't show his face to anyone.
Elder, please take a look at my young master. Quick, he was perfectly fine. Why is he suddenly running a fever?
The old physician shot him a single glance and teased.
Your young master's not coming down with a fever. He is just missing that young lad.
Nanxing City's no good for us anymore. We can't stick around here another half day.
Then, let's get going.
Young master! Nuan hands off, decocting your medicine. And by the hour, it should be just about ready. You've been soaking in that cold pool water for ages. Your health's a priority. So at least down the medicine before we head out. Alright, Lord 9000 specially instructed that you must take the medicine before leaving.
Okay.
You go. Why can't you stand hearing the plain truth? Hear a couple of honest words, and you're already storming off. Since you hate the truth so much. Fine. The old man won't say another word. Now, give me your hand. Let me take your pulse.
No need. I'm all better now.
Your rejuvenating fragrance did the trick. It cleared things up. Now let the old man check on the rest of your condition.
Remembering what that young fool said to him before he left, the old miracle doctor could feel his blood boiling.
I've heard from the Ninely folk that Lady Wenxiang excels at women's disputes, and you two have always been on good terms. If you could team up and study it together, this little infertility issue would be a breeze to cure.
A breeze to cure. Easy as pie. He makes it sound so simple. And on good terms, my foot. He knows full well that old hag Wenxiang and I are sworn enemies. We haven't spoken since the day we vowed never to cross paths again. And he still has the nerve to say that. He is gonna be the death of me. The death of me.
If you won't let the old man check your pulse, aren't you worried it might really be infertility?
Either way, I never planned on getting pregnant or having kids in this lifetime. So this infertility thing, bring it on. Whatever. It won't bother me one bit.
Girl, what kind of grudge do you hold against that boy anyway? You really had to throw him under the bus like that.
Don't you know?
Huh? What don't I know?
Don't you know what his status is?
It is that he can't have children. It is not that he doesn't want to. How does that make him so heartless?
Yeah? What is his position again?
Isn't he that old miracle doctor who just trailed off mid-sentence? Yeah, how'd he forget already? That boy's the all-powerful 9,000 years of the Northern Yue Kingdom. Now,
A eunuch.
if this girl actually bore him a child, that'd be the ultimate crime of deceiving the emperor and wiping out a whole clan.
Well, I must have overlooked that. Listen, girl. Why not turn around and talk some sense into that boy? This 9,000 years of Northern Yue. Does he really have to go down this road?
Yeah. Fine, I'll swing by later and sound him out for you.
This is the highest rank any eunuch can climb to. What better path could there be? This old coot's rambling all over the place. Does he think that if he weren't the 9,000 years, he'd magically father a kid or something? What a load of nonsense. Shen Nanxing still itching to get away. Just to brush the old man off with a couple vague words. He is under the influence of that rejuvenation fragrance. Hasn't come back all night. And who knows what chaos the capital's descended into by now. In the Liu Yi Prince's mansion, the man in black robes with dark hair sits at his desk, listening to Cold Wind's report.
Miss Shen has safely returned to the capital. He did send Yuan An to gather intelligence, just as we thought, and had Zhang Ge take the silver. And she has already changed her story, as we instructed.
Any word on that man in black?
Every sect in the Jiangku, I've looked into them all, but he doesn't belong to any of them. Master, give me leave to dig deeper.
Go on, then.
Fu Zhuli lowers his gaze, replaying the man in black's every move from that day. He bore no malice toward the young master, and seemed to know him. Even the moment he appeared, he handed him over without hesitation, as if he trusted him completely. As for why he took the young master away then, it must have been to keep him from being sullied by Shi Tingyu. Yet, he handed over the young master, poisoned with Hui Chunxiang, without a second thought. Knowing he was a eunuch, that is why he felt safe. Who could this man be? When Shi Tingyu spotted Shen Nanxing Fu, she was lounging back against the main seat in the hall, sipping her tea in leisurely little gulps. Two young maids were massaging her calves. The moment he caught sight of her like that, his anger flared up hot and fast.
She really has been in the barracks too long. Her manners and poise as crude and unrefined as those rough soldiers. Where is even a hint of the refined lady she once was?
Shen Nanxing had her eyes half closed in relaxation, lost in her own thoughts, but now she seemed startled. And the teacup slipped from her grasp, flying right out. It hit the furious man square on tea and all, right on the mark. Smack on the forehead. The young attendant who'd come with Prince Wu let out a startled cry and rushed forward, sleeve at the ready to wipe him clean.
Get lost!
Oh dear, how did that teacup pick such bad aim? Flying straight for the prince like that.
Shen Nanxing, you've got the nerve to show your face here!
What kind of talk is that from you, my lord? This is my home as your princess. So what is wrong with me coming back? My lord, why didn't you bring that wife of yours along? Could it be the stepson feels too ashamed of his lowly birth and doesn't dare show his face before me, the princess? That is right. After all, my status as princess towers far above some mere stepson.
Shen Nanxing, have you no shame at all? The proud daughter of the Southern Demon Marquis, shamelessly hopping on about the child sacrifice without a blush!
On our wedding night, you swore to ruin yourself in the child sacrifice ritual. And now, after just a few short days, you've gone and broken that vow, parroting that wife of yours back home for all to see. So now you've done the deed, my lord, and won't even let anyone speak the truth.
Yours isn't just some stepson. I told you. If you keep slandering him like this, don't blame me for getting rough.
Fine. If my lord insists he is not, then I suppose he is not. In any case, I've never known a lady from a respectable family to shack up with a man without so much as a name or title.
Isn't that all because you've stolen her rightful place?
Then divorce me, and let her take my spot.
Shi Tingyu teethed with fury, but then suddenly recalled something. A sly smirk tugged at the corner of his mouth.
Tell me, why are you so desperate to rile me up? Was it because that thief defiled you last night? You want me to divorce you, right? That way, your filthy scandal never sees the light of day. Let me tell you. Dream on!
Looks like you don't love your Jeezy all that much. I'm even willing to step aside, but you just can't bear to let me go. Poor Jeezy, pining away for something I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, and even you won't hand it over to her. She is truly blind to fall for an ungrateful wretch like you, my lord.
Shen Nanxing, don't you dare try to stir up trouble there. As the Jing princess, you've been sullied by those bandits, refusing to take your own life in atonement. And you still have the gall to show your face here. Tell me, if I let slip that you were defiled and stayed out all night, can you keep your head on your shoulders?
What is it you want, my lord?
The Iron Cavalry. Just hand over the military tally for the Iron Cavalry, and I'll pretend none of this ever happened. I can even help you cover up your loss of innocence as princess. How about it?
No. How is that sound? Let me tell you, it is out of the question. The Mingwei Iron Cavalry. I'll die before I give it to you.
Aren't you afraid I'll report your loss of innocence straight to the emperor? Then you'll have no choice but to atone with your death.
Shi Tingyu, open those dog eyes of yours wide and take a good hard look at this.
Shi Tingyu instinctively glanced over. There, glaring back at him, was a vermilion handprint, Gongsha.
How is this even possible? Didn't you get dosed with rejuvenation fragrance? And yet, you're still alive. How could you possibly still be untouched?
Even the 4 little maids in the manor know it was Lord 9,000 Years who saved me. He who sent me to the Netherworld Valley, where the old divine physician brought me back from the brink. But you, my Lord Prince, you were clueless. Or worse, you didn't want to know. You'd rather swallow the lie that your own Wangfei had been sullied by some outsider. All to serve your dirty little schemes. Go on then, go tattle to his majesty. Let him hear how you've doted on your concubine and butchered your own blood, and see what doom awaits that stepson of yours. Shi Tingyu, what the hell are you doing? Put me down!
As Shen Nangxing was mid-sentence, her body suddenly floated into the air, scooped up bridal style by the man himself, as he marched straight into the inner chambers.
You are this king's consort. What did you say this king should do? Didn't you just threaten this king with your deadly hand strike? Fine then. Shall we let Father Emperor know how this king favors his concubines and neglects his wife? Aren't you just upset that this king has been ignoring you and refusing to consummate our marriage? Then this king will satisfy you right now.
Shi Tingyu carried the woman just a few steps to the side chamber next to the main hall and tossed her onto the bed. Before pouncing on top of her, Shen Nangxing tried to shove him away with all her strength, but realized it was probably because she'd soaked in that entire bowl of cold food antidote. Having just finished detoxifying, her body was still too weak to muster any real force. The man's chest came down on her like iron, and she couldn't budge it even an inch. Watching the woman struggle beneath him, Shi Tingyu let out a cold laugh.
What are you pretending for? Isn't this exactly what you wanted?
Yeah? Shi Tingyu, let me go. Let go! Let go!
Shen Nangxing swallowed, raced in panic. He'd sent Nuan to track down Fu Zhuli, Nuan to gather intel for him, and Chunxin was off, brewing her medicine. Now the halls outside were filled with the prince's manor maids, who wouldn't dare interfere, and wouldn't anyway.
No. And there is Xiao Tao.
Shen Nangxing's eyes lit up, and she shouted out,
Xiao Tao!
Xiao Tao called for me! The Xiao Tao who knows no martial arts. But she can stumble in, make a fuss, and buy us some time. Nuan and Nuan have already left it. It's been a bit, so they should be back any moment. But Xiao Tao caught the exact moment. The prince pinned the young lady beneath him. Her face instantly flushed crimson, for she'd never witnessed anything like it. She hesitated just a second, then saw the prince glance back at her. Panic-stricken, Xiao Tao spun and bolted.
Xiao Tao! Xiao Tao!
No matter how Miss Ren called after her, Xiao Tao couldn't hear a thing, her heart pounding like mad, as she dashed out of the courtyard in one frantic breath. She'd barely caught her breath there, still heaving and unsteady, when she spotted the young lady's trusted maid, Nuan Ning, leaping in.
Xiao Tao, what are you doing? Lurking out here. Where is the mistress?
Sister Nuan.
The young lady. She is in there. With the prince.
She stamped her foot in frustration as she said it.
Oh, no, miss. This isn't a good time. We should just wait out here.
Nuan Ning's hearing was sharp as ever, and even as she spoke to Xiao Tao, she'd caught an odd sound from inside, like it was the mistress. So she vaulted straight into the main hall. In the care chamber, Shi Tingyu had already leered as he yanked open the front of the woman's robe, revealing her smooth, porcelain shoulders and collarbones. There, on her pale skin, were mottled red marks, scattered everywhere, the lust in his eyes swiftly giving way to blazing fury.
Shen Nangxing, this is what you meant by not betraying me.
Shen Nangxing had been desperately thrashing to break free, but at his words, she instinctively glanced down, her mind flashing back to that cold pool in Yoming Valley, wondering who that man had done this to her.
Who are you thinking of?
Anyone you name will do. Just not you. Anyway.
With that, she simply stopped fighting back.
Even after saying that, you still lay hands on me. Then you're truly beyond reason.
It is Fu Zhuli, isn't it?
What did you just say?
This king is saying, these filthy marks on your body are from Fu Zhuli, aren't they? That eunuch's doing. Only a eunuch like him could hold a beauty in his arms. and only look no tasting the forbidden fruit.
Shen Nanxing mustered every ounce of her strength, wrenching her right hand free from his grip.
I won't let you talk about him like that.
Shen Nas, how dare you strike me? You'd hit me over eunuch.
That is exactly who I'm hitting.
Shi Tingyu suddenly raised his hand, ready to slap her back. But the slap was already at her cheek. Yet, the woman didn't flinch at all.
What? You aren't scared of a beating, huh?
How about this?
His large hand slid to the woman's waist and yanked hard.
Fu Jiuli, what you can't do, how about I do it for you?
Shi Tingyu, let me go.
That eunuch can touch me, but I can't. You're this king's consort.
Shi Tingyu, get off me! Let me go!
But the man ignored her furious curses and leaned down to sink his teeth into her fragrant shoulder. Shen Nanxing felt the spot he touched was as nauseating as a wild dog's gnaw. And in her rage, she yanked a hairpin from her hair, stabbing it viciously into his shoulder blade. Shi Tingyu lifted his head, his eyes blazing red with fury, and raised his hand to strike her face with brutal force. As Nuaning rushed in, this is what he saw. He leaped forward, seizing the man's shoulders, and yanked him away, slamming him hard to the ground.
My lady, are you all right?
I'm injured. It is all my fault as your subordinate. From now on, the subordinate will never leave your side again. This is Prince Jing's blood.
Guards!
Several maidservants rushed in immediately. Leading the way was none other than Little Peach.
You old hag! How dare you strike the prince!
With Little Peach's support, Shi Tingyu stood up. He fumbled with one hand to pull the hairpin from his shoulder.
Miss, the prince is your husband. How could you stab him with a hairpin? Look, the prince is bleeding.
Shen Nanxing, I give you 1 day to consider. If you're willing to hand that thing over to me, your attempt to assassinate me and cuckold me, I can pretend they never happened. You can continue as my Princess Jing. Of course, you can refuse to hand it over. Then for these deeds of yours, don't blame me for reporting it to the emperor. Assassinating a prince, as the Princess Jing, consorting with other men, attempting to muddy the royal bloodline. Either of these crimes is enough to wipe out the 9 clans of the Nanyang Marquis Mansion. Let's go.
Shi Tingyu presses his hand to the wound on his back, leading a few maids away with him.
My lord, what should we do now?
Nuaning wears a look of deep concern, gazing at her master, only to find her master lost in a daze, staring toward the door.
My lord, what is the matter?
I'm fine.
It is just that Xiao Tao's been with me since we were children. So how could she have changed so much?
Finding a way to reveal Shen, Jie's true identity, to Shi Tingyuan.
Xiao Tao supported him all the way until Xiao Tingyu reached his bedchamber, then helped him settle comfortably onto the bed, bustling about to tend to his needs. The moment she finished bandaging him and turned to leave, Shi Tingyu waved his hand.
All of you, withdraw.
Xiao Tao took her leave alongside the other maids, but hadn't even reached the bedchamber door when a voice called out from behind her.
Xiao Tao, stay behind.
Xiao Tao's body stiffened in shock, her head bowed as she took small, hesitant steps back to the bedside.
What does your highness command?
Sit.
This servant dares not.
When this prince commands you, you obey, or else you're defying this prince's orders.
This servant dares not.
Look up.
Little Peach bit her lower lip, her heart pounding with nerves.
As the dowry maidservant of Lady Zun, Han Hexensen, now belong to Prince Yi Tingyu.
Seeing the little maid before him with cheeks flushed like blooming peach blossoms, her face burning with shy crimson, he found it amusing for a moment, and smiled as he teased her.
So, that makes you my woman now, doesn't it?
Yes, yes.
I will serve you well, your highness.
This maidservant will.
The prince's heart stirred. He'd only meant to toy with her a bit, to draw out a few words. But now, beholding the little maid's innocent gaze, a flicker of genuine desire stirred within him.
If you're so willing, then show me.
Under his intense gaze, Little Peach's hands trembled as she slowly peeled away her layers of clothing. Prince Yi Tingyu's breath caught, and he pulled the little maid into his arms, only to jolt his wound, drawing a sharp gasp from his lips.
Your highness, you're hurt. Please don't move. Let this maidservant tend to you.
With that, she knelt beside the bed, gently easing away his garments layer by layer, then leaned over him softly, her lips trembling as they brushed his face, his Adam's apple, his chest. But suddenly, his strong hand cupped the back of her head, guiding her lips to meet his in a fierce tangle. And in the heat of their kiss, he seized her slender waist, pulling her down against him with urgent force. Tears spilled from the little maid's eyes.
Your Highness, the young lady soaked in icy cold water all night for detoxification. She has developed infertility from it. Xiao Tao's body is perfectly healthy. How about Xiao Tao? Bears a child for you.
In truth, Shi Tingyu wasn't asleep at all. Just worn out from nights of relentless intimacy these past few days. Utterly exhausted, in fact. So he'd simply shut his eyes to rest. But what did she just say? Bearing his child. What a joke a filthy little maid like her. Fine for a tumble in bed, but to carry his heir. She should know her place. Is she even worthy?
Your Highness! Your Highness! Your Highness! Were you having a nightmare?
Xiao Tao saw the man's brows furrow in distress, and reached out to gently stroke them, whispering softly to him. Shi Tingyu swallowed the revulsion churning inside him, and slowly opened his eyes, gazing tenderly at the little maid.
Tell me, Xiao Tao, do you know where the Iron Cavalry command tally is kept?
The command tally known as the Iron Cavalry. Princess Xiaowu has it. Long live the Empire.
What did you say?
In an instant, ruthless fury flashed in the man's eyes, his large hand clamping down on the little maid's slender neck.
Say that again.
Choking for breath, Xiao Tao's round face swollen purple with strain, her hands clawing desperately at the man's iron grip. Just as she thought in despair that she was done for right there, that vice-like hand flung her savagely to the cold stone floor.
My lord! The Celestial Cavalry tally was stolen by the Princess Consort, plain and simple. I saw it myself! No! Mistaking it!
Then do you know why she handed the Iron Cavalry tally to that eunuch?
Because the Princess Consort trusts that eunuch with her life. She says the tally's safe only in his hands. That is the only way she sleeps at night.
And she is not afraid that eunuch will seize the Mingwei Iron Cavalry for himself. That eunuch's no saint, you know.
The princess says as long as it is him, whatever he wants, she hands it over.
The nerve of her!
Shi Tingyu rose to his feet and drove his boot into Xiao Tao's chest.
My lord! Spare me, please! This old servant still got her uses. I can keep tabs on the princess for you. She trusts me more than anyone. I'll do whatever she asks. Every last thing.
Xiao Tao trembled all over, kneeling on the ground as she backed away, until she reached the corner of the wall, with nowhere left to go.
Your Highness! The Princess Consort betrayed you long ago! The war men by her side! And Warning aren't lowly mates from the estate at all! They were sent by the 9000-year-old to guide her! And this time, when the Princess Consort soaked in the cold pool, it was the 9000-year-old who joined her in the water! The Princess Consort! She only has eyes for the 9000-year-old! That is why she handed over the elite Iron Cavalry to him!
What else do you know?
That night, when you were set to consummate your marriage with the Princess Consort, it was she who deliberately leaked the news to the second miss, just to summon her and ruin the whole thing! She didn't want to give herself to you!
Who is this second miss?
It is Shen Yi, the one who stayed in the Xinlan courtyard before. Yes, she is the Princess Consort's kin by blood.
No wonder Yer showed up at just the right moment that day. No wonder, back when he first met Yer, he seemed to know him so well. No wonder Yer bears such a striking resemblance to Shen Nanxing. Shi Tingyu's brows furrowed deeply, his heart churning with turmoil. Seeing the man lost in thought, Xiao Tao hesitated. She quickly grabbed a robe, wrapped it around herself, and scrambled away quietly. After a moment, the door to the bedchamber was pushed open from outside. Shen Yi slipped in quietly, catching sight of the naked man inside and that glaring streak of blood on the bed. She came to a halt right in front of the man, lifting her misty, tear-filled eyes to gaze at him.
Brother Shi, didn't you say you were off to settle things with Shen Nanxing? Why? Would you go and favor Shen Nanxing's maid like that again?
Shi Tingyu gazed down imperiously at the woman who'd burst in, his eyes brimming with icy disdain.
Shen Yi, who exactly are you?
Brother Shu, what is that supposed to mean? I'm Yi-er, you're Yi-er, you're little Yi.
This prince is asking you.
Are you truly just some palace maid?
I heard it was that wretch Xiao Tao who spilled it to you, Brother Yu. Yes! I'm the illegitimate daughter from the house of Nanya. Yes, the overlooked girl from the southern branch. There, happy now. My status is so lowly, the kind of daughter from an outer consort that everyone scorns. Even though mother's been brought into the Marquise's household now, and made a concubine, everyone still knows she was that outer captain's woman. And looks down on her for it. As her daughter in this endless cycle, I'm an even greater disgrace. Something to hide away. Pure shame. I know my birth is humble, so I'm hardly worthy of someone as exalted as King Jing. Yet I just can't help myself. I've been in love with you since I was a girl. So deeply, so hopelessly. I know you loved Shen Nangxing, so all I ever dared do was watch you from the shadows in secret, lurking there like some wretched unseen specter, stealing glimpses of your tender moments with her, each one carving deeper into my heart. Then at last, the heavens showed mercy. Shen Nangxing passed away, and I finally had my chance to draw near you. I love you too much. I feared you'd scorn me for my lowly station as well. So I lied and told you I was an orphan, and in terror of you uncovering the truth. I haven't been home in years. But now that you know, perhaps it is for the best. At least I won't have to carry this crushing deception any longer. This endless weariness. Since you no longer want me, I might as well just die then.
With those words, she resolved to end it all, slamming her head against the bedpost.
You don't want me anymore.
Even though my heart was still burning with anger, but seeing the woman who'd stood by me for so many years, desperately trying to take her own life, Shi Tingyu's resolve finally crumbled.
Yinge, don't cry.
Brother Yu doesn't blame you anymore.
But I lied to you. You really don't blame me.
I did at first, but just now, when I saw you trying to end it all, do you know how terrified I was? Just the thought of losing you forever sends my heart into utter panic and grips me with overwhelming fear. Nothing matters more than your life. Yeah. Promise me you'll never hurt yourself again. Got it?
Brother Yu, I love you.
In that moment, teased by the woman he adored, and hearing her confess her love for him, every other thought vanished from his mind. The fire of desire within him ignited, raging fiercely. After a night of fervent passion, as dawn began to break, the two finally embraced and drifted off to sleep. The next day, the sun had risen high. He slipped into his inner robe and stepped into the outer chamber, basking in the sun's fierce heat, when suddenly, something felt terribly off. He'd forgotten morning court.
Oh, my lord, a messenger from the estate reports. An imperial censor has impeached you, and his majesty summons you to the hall at once.
Shi Tingyu mounted his horse in haste and galloped to the palace, finally arriving at court, wiping sweat from his brow, where the civil and military officials had been waiting for some time.
Kneel!
Shi Tingyu's body trembled, and he dropped to his knees. Before he could even lift his head, a memorial came flying at him from the front. Its edge struck him square on the forehead.
Take a look for yourself. What a fine mess you've made!
Shi Tingyu thought to himself in dread. This is bad. He reached down and picked up the fallen memorial, opened it, and after reading just 2 lines, his face drained of color. Shile was ruthless to go this far, over something as trivial as this, actually allying with the censors to impeach him.
It seems your wings have grown bold enough to flout the law you know so well, and dare skip morning court!
Imperial father, your son was held up by urgent matters. How could it be deliberate absence from court? How dare I defy Imperial father's decree?
Your Majesty, I have a report. This old minister must impeach Prince Jing once more. Prince Jing's indulgence in feminine charms has left him neglectful of his duties, turning the morning court into a stain on the imperial dignity. He must be severely punished, as a warning to others.
The emperor's face has darkened to the point of fury.
What in the world is going on here?
Shi Tingyu is caught off guard for a moment. Even if his arrival was a touch delayed, how could Censor Liu know the true reason for his lateness?
Father King, while common folk rest at night, I was up all night handling urgent state affairs, which is why I overslept a bit.
That is why he is talking such utter nonsense! What urgent business could you possibly have to handle that even I know nothing about?
Father Emperor, it is true.
Chen Zian presented him with a bronze mirror.
The emperor's face turns ashen with rage, averting his gaze in disgust, regretting for the first time why he ever brought such a fool into the world. What a disgrace. At this moment, the 9000-year-old eunuch, silent until now in court, steps forward to the side and speaks up.
Your Majesty, Prince Jing has indeed been tied up with urgent matters of state lately, and this servant can vouch for it.
Shi Tingyu was taken aback. Has Yan Yun lost his mind to actually speak up for him?
Indeed, Father Emperor.
This son was truly occupied with official duties, which caused the delay in morning court.
Oh,
In recent days, the prince has been working tirelessly to relieve the flood crisis in Liangzhou, raising funds for relief, and as Chenting reports, they've already gathered 50,000 taels of silver. What fortune for the people of Liangzhou, Your Highness Prince Jing. Once morning court concludes, this minister will send a man to Prince Jing's residence to collect the funds, and lead the people of Liangzhou in expressing our deepest gratitude to Your Highness.
Your Majesty.
For Prince Jing to show such benevolence is truly a blessing upon our realm. This month, Prince Jing holds the world in his heart, caring deeply for the nation and its people. He'd even sell off the assets of his own estate to gather silver for the flood-stricken victims of Liangzhou suffering in dire straits. Such is the great virtue that benefits all under heaven.
At such a young age, Prince Jing already bears the weight of the world. A true scion of the Xia imperial lineage. This act of Prince Jing's is indeed a great fortune for the people of Liangzhou, and for all the people of Beiyue.
Your Highness Prince Jing's noble deed.
Hearing his minister speak thus, the emperor of Beiyue saw his earlier anger begin to fade.
Prince Jing, rise. You've handled this matter admirably.
Now, Shi Tingyu found himself in a bind, unable to back down. In this moment, the denial on the tip of his tongue simply wouldn't come out, no matter how he tried.
This son. Thanks, Father Emperor, for the praise. But recalling urgent matters awaiting at the estate, this son begs leave to withdraw first.
Your Majesty, though Prince Jing has indeed excelled in raising funds for the Liangzhou flood relief, his unlawful intrusion into a private home and the resulting suicide of that innocent woman are undeniable facts. I implore Your Majesty to judge rewards and punishments with utmost clarity. Prince Jing, speak up. Does the censor Liu speak the truth?
Shi Tingyu's face paled once more, as he hastily reopened the memorial clutched in his hand. Continuing to read from those two fateful lines, his complexion drained of color with every word. The woman had actually ended her life after he caught a glimpse of her bathing.
Imperial Father, please hear me out on this. This residence was originally mine. I had no knowledge that the princess consort had sold it off. That is why I entered. It was all a terrible misunderstanding. Had I known the princess consort had sold this residence, I would never have set foot inside.
What a convenient misunderstanding. Prince Jing, one simple misunderstanding. Can it truly atone for the life of one of my northern U.S. subjects? The new owner, Zhang Er, has testified that before you entered, he clearly told you the house was his. Yet, you refused to believe him, not only wounding him, but forcing your way in with your men as well. Witnesses and evidence abound in this affair. Deny it all you like, but you cannot. King Jing, is what Master Shai said true?
That residence of father's originally housed my beloved concubine. I thought something had happened to her, and in my panic, I rushed right in. But regardless, this was undoubtedly my fault. I accept the punishment!
You are indeed guilty in this matter. But given your meritorious efforts in raising funds for the Liangzhou floods, the merits shall offset the demerits. We'll go easy on the penalty. Just dock you a full year's salary, and give you 10 strokes of the rod. Do you accept?
I do.
This time, as Shi Tingyu took his strokes, it was Shile overseeing. Before this living Yama himself, the guards wielding the rods didn't dare hold back a single bit. So Shi Tingyu took the full force of all 10 lashes. His backside was a bloody mess. No sooner had he dragged himself back to Prince Jing's mansion and collapsed onto the bed, then the entourage of the 9,000 arrived at the gates. They declared they came on the 9,000's orders to collect the 50,000 taels of silver. Shi Tingyu couldn't even tend to his wounds, but hastily summoned the steward instead. When the old steward finally halved his way in before Shi Tingyu, a grin of delight was already spreading across his face. He didn't wait for Prince Jing to speak before blurting it all out.
Your Highness, Ivy Sweet talked the pawn shop boss into redeeming them for just 30% more silver than before, and got back most of the household goods from Xinlan Courtyard. Just the other day, the Minister of Right's concubine pawned an antique vase, and redeeming it the next day cost her more than twice the silver.
The old steward wears a look of pure pride. His eyebrows and mustache perked up high, eager for the prince's praise. But after waiting a good while, not only does no compliment come, but a pillow comes sailing his way.
Your Highness, what did this little one do wrong now?
Seeing the prince sprawled on the bed, his face dark as Balgong's.
This little one was only following your orders.
Shi Tingyu eyes his favored steward, heart dead as ashes.
How much silver's left in the manor?
6,000 taels.
Sell off the stuff and bring the silver back. Well, what are you waiting for? Get going!
Yes, right away!
Those precious items Jin Lanyuan just brought back. Shen Yi barely had time for a single glance before they were all carted out of Jin Wangfu one by one and pawned off again. That initial 50,000 taels of silver has now been whittled down to 30,000. Shen Nanxing lounged contentedly on the concubine's couch, her eyes crinkling with delight. That man, Fu Zhuli, was just too much to her liking. He'd only just set foot in Jin Wangfu's estate, and already he'd smoothly conned away the proceeds from the sale, all under the most sanctimonious pretense.
Jin Wang already knows Shen Yi is true identity, but he doesn't seem to mind a bit.
No matter, that is exactly the indifference we're after.
To forgive such long years of deception so easily proves their bond is unbreakable. And with that, it'll be all the easier for Shi Tingyu to divorce him over Shen Zhiyi. Right. Just then, a servant from the gatehouse came to report.
Someone from Li Wangfu requests an audience with the Wang Fei.
Shen Nanxing sprang up from the concubine's couch in a flash.
Fu Zhouli's getting on in years.
So I'll go meet him right now. Won't I, Wang Fei?
The young servant trailed behind, trying to get a word in. But how could he keep up with the Wang Fei's pace? He'd barely gotten the words out when the Wang Fei had vanished from sight. Shen Nanxing arrived excitedly at the gates of Prince Jin's mansion, but the one he'd been longing to see was nowhere in sight, replaced instead by 4 men in black, standing ramrod straight in a line.
Your humble servant, Qiao Da. Your humble servant, Qiao Er. Your humble servant, Qiao San.
Your humble servant, Qiao Si. We pay our respects to the master.
So Lord 9000 sent you over. Huh. Why are you calling me master?
Master, Lord 9000, has gifted us to you, and from now on, the 4 of us are yours, Master.
What did you all do back when you served Lord 9000? Why'd he send you to me?
We beg you, Master, to take us under your wing. Master, we used to carry Lord 9000's sedan chair, and we can do the same for you in the future, Master. Guaranteed swift and steady as can be.
Master, we're real pros at all sorts of work too. Washing clothes, cooking meals, chopping wood, hunting game, you name it. We got it covered.
Master, our kung fu ain't half bad either. We can keep you safe and sound.
Master, that'll do.
He already gets the picture on these 4.
Where is he?
Lord 9000 set out for Liangzhou today, and by now, he ought to be well on his way.
He just up and left like that, without even stopping by to say goodbye to me.
Sister-in-law, aren't you still Princess Jing? Our 9000-year-old coming to see you specially before heading out, just to say goodbye. You think that is fitting?
Shen Nanxing was at a loss for words. Then again, he is still Princess Jing right now, so it is fine for him to hand over his 4 bearers to you.
Our 9000-year-old S off to Liangzhou. Aren't you going with him to keep him safe?
The journey to Yangzhou is a long one, and our 9000-year-old griped that we carried the sedan too slow, so he took the carriage instead.
Our 9000-year-old's martial skills outmatch ours, and he said he doesn't need the likes of us.
Shen Nanxing knew Fu Zhuli couldn't bear leaving her alone in the capital, so that is why he left these 4 bearers with her. The whole capital knows they're his men. And just like that, the bond between them can't be severed. It is all tangled up again. So how could she refuse?
In that case, you 4 stay by my side.
At that moment, Qiao Da pulled several bundled scrolls of portraits from his sleeve and respectfully offered them to Shen Nanxing with both hands.
My lord, these are the husband candidates our 9000-year-old picked out for you. Take your pick. Our 9000-year-old said they've all been thoroughly vetted. Solid character, fine family backgrounds. Whichever one catches your eye, he'll arrange the marriage for you.
Now that you're my people, you'll have to obey my every word from here on out, right?
Mistress, just give the word.
Then I'll go snack him myself.
The 9000-year-old's carriage is pulled by 2 prime sweat, blooded steeds, hitched up.
And our palanquin won't keep pace.
If you can't handle even that, we might as well turn back, huh?
Mistress, the 9000-year-old's got another horse, a white one, named Treading Snow. That covers 1,000 alai a day, matching those sweat-blooded steeds, or even outpacing them. Let your humble servant steal it for you.
But that is the 9000-year-old's prized possession. One he won't even ride himself.
Qiao Sai gives Qiao San a quick elbow nudge. A little reminder.
We're the mistress's people now. No need to worry about the others. The code division hidden guards from the palace, all left with a 9000-year-old. The rest aren't worth a second thought. Snatching the lead horse should be a breeze.
Shen Nanxing mounts that pure white steed, its coat gleaming, muscles rippling with power. And in less than half a day, she catches up to the 9000-year-old as lightly armed convoy. Hoofbeats echo from afar, and the two coachmen and guards snap to attention.
Guard, a woman's riding straight for us. The 9000-year-old, on horseback.
The black-clad man, eyes closed in meditation, snaps them open.
It is a woman in red, astride a white horse.
The corners of Yu Julie's lips curved up just a touch, a faint little smile. And then he stepped down from the carriage, standing patiently by its side. A flash of fiery red swept in like lightning, right up to him in an instant. Treading Snow neighed eagerly, waiting for its rider to dismount, before eagerly trotting over to his side, pawing the ground as it circled him excitedly. But the woman in red strode right up to him, reaching out to shove the white horse aside, tilting her chin up, her eyes sparkling as she looked at him. The white horse pushed away, immediately nudged its way back in. The woman shoved it again, and it nudged right back. The woman and the horse brazenly tussling for the spot, right in front of him.
She made. Snow, back off.
Only then did the white horse let out a long neigh, snorting steamy breaths as it reluctantly shuffled aside. The woman in red smugly jerked her chin at the white horse, which got the horse so riled up it stomped in tight little circles on the spot, whinnying in frustration.
Why bother squabbling with a horse?
It started it by stealing my spot.
This spot's practically got your name carved into it.
Anywhere within 10 feet of you belongs to me.
You and your nonsense.
Seizing the moment, he looked away. Shen Naxing stepped in close and wrapped her arms around his waist, then swiftly rose on her tiptoes, planting a quick kiss on his cheek.
Let go.
I won't let go.
Will you let go or not?
You're still holding on.
You noble ladies from great houses, haven't you studied the Nanjie since you were little? Isn't that exactly what the Nanjie teaches you?
That is not how it is put. Then how am I supposed to stop thinking of you?
Stand still. I have words for you.
Then say it. Why did you abandon me without so much as a farewell?
That is not what I came to discuss.
Then what? Why send me portraits of other men? And tell me to pick a husband?
His gaze drifted away. He wouldn't meet her eyes.
In a few days, the Prince of Jing will grant you a divorce decree, and you'll be free of all ties. Even if the Marquis of Nanyang dotes on you, he is advanced in years, and can't shield you forever. The men in those portraits are all of upright character. Their offices may not be lofty, but they'll cherish you deeply, and their elders are all kindly folk, who won't make your life hard.
So, Your Highness, you don't want me anymore, and you're shoving me towards someone else, aren't you? You shared my bed and my intimacy, so Your Highness, you won't take responsibility for me.
Don't be ridiculous.
So, what do you say? Isn't this your kiss?
In broad daylight, how could you act like that? What if someone saw us?
Then, on those dark and moonless nights, I'll show you then.
What on earth are you talking about?
You won't even look. Then, I'll show it to someone else. You said it yourself. Do you really want me to marry another? If my future husband wants to see it, I couldn't possibly refuse. Don't you agree?
If it is Miss Shen's future husband, of course he can look. Miss Shen, head back now. This prince must be on his way.
The wind was picking up, lifting the hem of her fiery red skirt. She tilted her head, gazing at his retreating figure.
That day in the cold pool, you made that 3-year promise to me. Does it still hold?
Those portraits of the men, can Miss Shen bear them? If Miss Shen takes a look, she'll see they're all fine matches. And whichever one she chooses, Miss Shen, her life will be one of comfort and joy.
But the only place I feel truly at ease is right here with you.
My lord.
I am no fitting match for you at 9,000 years old. If that is truly how it is, then so be it.
As you wish then.
Fu Julie's heart skipped a beat, and when he turned back, the woman was already wheeling her horse to depart.
This must be the tear. Strict 3-year vigil and 40 days he spoke of. Tang Xuan, escort him.
Far in the distance, a white horse tossed its head, kicking up its hooves and charging toward the red-clad woman like a whirlwind. Shen Naxing didn't crack her whip. She simply gripped the reins as Treading Snow bore her swiftly away.
Can't you slow down just a little? I never told you to gallop this fast. So why are you rushing like this?
Treading Snow's large eyes blinked twice, brimming with utter bewilderment.
What is the use in slowing down now? He has long since lost sight of me.
Treading Snow's ears pricked up. IT froze for a moment, then surged forward even faster, gliding over the mountain ridges like a blaze. gently carrying her back to the Jing Palace.
Miss, you're finally back. Miss, just now, King Jing came looking for you at the Southern Hospital. He said to come straight to the hospital to meet him as soon as you got back to the estate. I could tell from his face that King Jing was in a foul mood. Whatever he is after right now, it can't be anything good. Why not just steer clear of him?
Ma, Manya, Fu Zhuli just filled me in on what happened with Xi Tingyu. And now he is pushing for a divorce by mutual consent. But what exactly did he do? Do you have any idea what is going on? My lady, I got word from Lengyue that Lord Nine did indeed pay King Jing a visit and showed him a bundle of letters, seemingly correspondence from over a decade ago between Consort Duan and the Outer South. He is using them to strong-arm King Jing into divorcing you by mutual consent. How intriguing. Could Xi Tingyu really not be His Majesty's son, but the product of Consort Duan's affair with the Outer South? But in my past life, this secret never surfaced. And he had such a damning piece of leverage in his grasp. So why hold back from taking it straight to His Majesty? I'd wager Lord Nine's just worried it'd drag you down with it, my lady.
Yeah, if Xi Tingyu truly isn't royal blood, that is a crime that'll wipe out 9 generations. And until the day you two file for divorce by mutual consent, you're still counted among his kin. Fu Zhuli's holding off out of concern for your well-being, so he won't bring the evidence before the throne. Shen Nanxing fell silent after that, making her way back to the southern garden without another word.
Hand me the portrait that Chao Dao gave us today. Miss, aren't we going to confront the King of Jin? No rush. He is the one who should be sweating it right now, not me. We'll just sit tight and wait.
Shuangxing quickly fetched the portrait. Shen Nanxing took it from her. She casually unrolled one of the scrolls.
Hey, isn't that Master Shi? Miss, Master Shi's a fine official. He is upright and fearless in the face of the powerful. He stands up for the common folk. No matter how ruthless the Fan clan is, or how high their ranks, he handles everything with strict impartiality. Even His Majesty holds him in high regard. It was Master Shi who dealt with King Jing's trespass into that private home. They say Shili, the Vice Minister of War, is a man of vast learning. He rose through the ranks on his own merit, step by step, from a remote mountain village. He was the top scholar in the imperial exams 3 years ago, just one step shy of the ultimate triple crown. And his family is as humble as they come. His household consists of just him and his parents. His folks are simple, honest souls. His only sister is married off in a small county town back home.
But that is not even the half of it. Master Shi keeps himself above reproach. Once, an official tried to bribe him with a beauty. He declared he'd marry only one wife in his lifetime. He had no need for any other women. Even after they delivered her to his doorstep, he sent her right back, no questions asked. Listening to you all, Master Shi would make a fine husband. He is a great match.
Miss, that is not what I meant. I just meant to share what I know.
If it came out wrong, you're awake, miss. I don't blame you.
It is just that, if all 3 of you say so. It shows just how much thought that man put into selecting a suitor for me.
Fu Zhuli. Oh, Fu Zhuli, do you really intend to push me towards someone else?
Who knows, in my past life, at his grave, I got jealous over that scumbag cheating you, and did all those foolish things. But in this life, I truly don't understand him. Does he really have to wait until he is gone before he realizes how much he loves me?
He means well, I suppose. But Master Shi is such a fine young talent. How could someone like him ever take a fancy to a divorced woman like me? Miss, please don't sell yourself short. Fu Zhuling sent you that portrait right away, which shows that no matter who you choose, whoever it is, the man in the portrait will gladly marry you.
Shen Nanxing let out a soft chuckle. That is just the sort of thing he'd pull. With a flick of his wrist, he unfolded the remaining 4 portrait scrolls. Hong Shaowen, minister of the Dali Temple. Chang Ningyuan, son of the Grand Tutor. Zhang Dingquan, son of the Minister of Rights. Hao Lin, son of the Minister of Works. Probably my earlier praise for Shilei got under his skin. And now none of the 3 maids dares to utter a word.
Do you know them? Tell me about them. Since he wants me to choose one from these, then I'll just pick one and see what happens.
Miss, we've heard all about these 4 young lords from folks around, and they're all prime catches for a husband, each one outstanding in his own right, relentlessly driven and ambitious, from families of impeccable repute, without so much as a concubine or bed warmer in the household. And what is more, it is not just them. Their parents are utterly devoted to each other. With homes brimming with harmony, these young lords are the top picks for noble ladies in the capital, second only to princes and kings themselves.
Shen Nanxing nodded, then turned to Niu Anan and Niu Anning.
Send a message to him for me. Tell him I'm quite pleased with the candidates he picked for me. It is the master's doing. But as for my marriage, he can leave the arrangements to me. I'll choose one from this bunch and go after him myself.
Nuan An and Nuan Ning exchanged another glance. and Nuan An hurried off to deliver the message.
Hasn't the yin-yang copper tube already been used up?
My lady, this is what Leng Yue handed over to me. She said she had a craftsman fix it up and improve it. Now, it can launch 3 signal flares.
Does he have one too?
Yes, even the 9000. Yerode has one.
Give it back to him. Just tell him I don't want it. If I were to accept this thing, my future husband would be none too pleased.
You're mistaken there, my lady.
Just as I was tucking away the portrait here, the door to Nanyuan burst open with a kick from outside. There stood Shi Tingyu, his face a storm of rage.
Shen Nanxi, you've come back already. So why didn't you come looking for me at Xinlan Courtyard?
That place is way too rundown.
I didn't feel like going to Xinlan Courtyard.
Who is the one who let it fall to pieces? Isn't it because you sold off everything in Xinlan Courtyard?
How could it possibly be me? Everyone saw it plain as day. It was the steward who did the selling. How can you accuse me like this, Your Highness?
You dare claim it wasn't the steward acting on your orders?
Are you saying I told the steward to sell it off? Then the silver from those sales, did even 1 copper coin ever reach me?
Shen Ming, you and that eunuch dog Su Julin colluded from inside and out, tricking away this king's silver.
Nuan. Shot back at him.
No sooner had the words left their mouth than Nuan and Nuan Ning sprang into action, appearing like lightning at Shi Tingyu's side, raining blows down on him in a furious frenzy.
Women, you wenches! Tie up Shen Liangxin for me right now! Execute these 2 little bitches for me! Nada! Where are the palace guards? Why haven't you come to rescue this king? Shen Nanqing! You'll die a dog's death!
But no matter how Shi Tingyu bellowed, until he was beaten black and blue, passing out cold, no one came to his aid. The palace was swarming with guards, who naturally heard the prince's desperate cries, and rushed toward the commotion. Yet, they couldn't get within a single step, all jammed up just outside the south courtyard gate, unable to advance another inch, not even daring to make a peep. In the end, Shi Tingyu was stuffed into a sack, hoisted by Qiao Da and carted off to Xinlan Courtyard, then hurled over the wall into the yard like yesterday's trash. Shen Zhiyi, his head fuzzy and reeling, was at that moment slumped in the pavilion beside the only intact stone table, staring blankly at the murky lake surface. A thunderous thud rang out as a heavy load crashed to the ground, jolting him bolt upright from the stone bench.
Brother Shi! Brother Yi! Who could have done this to you? Who could have done this? How did you end up hurt like this? Does it hurt a lot?
Don't worry, Yenna. Brother Yu's okay.
Hold on, Brother Shui. I'll go fetch the mansion doctor for you.
Come back here!
Brother Yu, how are you holding up with wounds this severe? Hyanner has to go find a physician for you.
I'm alright. Just some superficial cuts, nothing more. It is getting late. Don't head out now. This prince's mansion is under that wretch Shi Nangxing's control now. I have no idea what trick she pulled to make all the servants and guards vanish like that. I can't let you go out there alone. Not safe at all. Whatever it is, we can sort it out tomorrow.
Brother Yu, did Nangxing have someone do this to you? Brother Yu, Hyanner never imagined her own sister would stoop to something like this. It is one thing if she mistreats me, since I'm just a lowly concubine's daughter, after all. Nothing compared to her, born the legitimate daughter of the whole mansion, pampered and precious from the start. But Brother Yu, you're the esteemed Prince Jing, and her own father no less. How could she treat you this way? Brother Yu, my sister's been headstrong and willful since she was little, and now she's gotten even worse. Why don't you just divorce her?
That way, you'll finally have some peace of mind. Shi Nangxing doesn't deserve the title of Golden Consort. Tomorrow, Brother Yu will drive her out in front of His Majesty.
That eunuch dog, Fu Zhuli, who is using those old letters between mother consort and her maternal uncle from her youth to blackmail him. He is giving him just 3 days to divorce Shen Nangxing, or else those letters go straight to Father Emperor.
Yenner, help me fetch my brush.
That eunuch dog, Fu Zhuli, wields massive power. And now the Iron Cavalry talisman has fallen into his hands. Getting it back now, it'll be no easy task. At least, he is just a eunuch, so he can't possibly stage a rebellion. We'll figure something out later. Since Yi is also old Marquis Shen's granddaughter, whether it is Shen Nangxing or Yi in the picture, whoever takes the seat as Princess Consort of Jing, old Marquis Shen will back her all the way. Besides, old Marquis Shen's getting on in years, and the Nanyang Marquis Mansion's only male heir is none other than Yi's own brother. Having weighed his options carefully in his mind, he hesitates no longer, picks up his brush, and writes the 3 bold characters, divorce decree, across the rice paper.
Brother Shui, Isn't this a divorce decree? Shen Nangxing has committed a grave offense. You have every right to cast her aside.
Shen Nangxing comes with a hefty dowry. What is this mutual divorce? She'd just walk away with the whole lot. Cheating you, of course, wasn't about to spill the truth.
Knowing how long he has harbored feelings for me, out of regard for our youthful bond, this prince can afford to be magnanimous. I'll pen her a mutual divorce decree. It is hardly a tall order. Be it a unilateral divorce decree or a mutual one, she'll have no ties left to Prince Qing's manor afterward. And it won't tarnish my reputation one bit.
But brother Yu, Shen Nangxing didn't come home all night. She is surely lost her virtue by now. And now she is humiliating you like this, handing her a mutual divorce decree. That is letting her off far too easy.
But there is no proof for any of it. And Prince Jing's family scandals aren't for public airing, casting her out without cause. Who knows what the common folk would make of it. This time, just to track you down. I've already been hit with a censor's impeachment. My name's already mud among the people. And if I were to divorce Shen Nangxing without reason now, it'd be a disaster. Shen Nangxing still holds a lofty place in the people's hearts.
Shen Zhe bit down hard on his lower lip, his eyes rimming red, brimming with resentment deep within. He absolutely couldn't let Shen Nangxing walk off with that lavish dowry.
Brother Shi, I've got a plan.
The next day, in the Liangzhou Prefectural Yamen.
What orders does Master Ling Yue?
Has word come from the capital, again for the master.
All is calm in the capital, as usual.
He steadied his nerves a bit. The master was asking about the capital, not about Miss Shen. Answering like that should be fine. But he'd already spoken. And after kneeling a moment longer, the master still hadn't said a word, just dismissed him.
They'd brought in a new cook. And how were they settling in?
Lang Yue thought to herself, being a shadow guard these days was getting harder than ever. The master wouldn't just come out and say it anymore. After all, when had the master ever cared about such trifles for his men? It had always been if they couldn't even handle the little things. What use were they to the master?
Miss Shen, Zhuoren sent these over.
Why has this yin-yang copper tube been sent back again?
This subordinate doesn't know.
Master, take a look at the note. It might explain the reason inside.
Dismissed.
The master had just asked about the sedan bearers, how the new ones were faring, and their adjustment. But he hadn't answered that at all. He'd only mentioned Miss Shen sending something, and the master had sent him away. So in the days to come, what the master asks may not be what he truly wants to hear. Fu Zhuli returned to the chamber, clutching the slip of paper and the yin-yang copper tube. Guan Shumen took his seat behind the writing desk, and only then unfolded the note. But the more he read, the tighter his brows furrowed. He found those men quite satisfactory. Yet he had to choose one to pursue in person. Fu Zhuli's eyes, deep and unyielding black, kept scanning further down. This yin-yang copper tube, he'd poured several days and nights into modifying it himself. And now it could send 3 signals, yet he wouldn't accept it, all because his future husband might take offense. After a heavy silence, he summoned Lang Yue once more. He handed over one of the yin-yang copper tubes.
Deliver this yin-yang copper tube to him. To Anwei, the one by your side.
Yes, my lord.
Lang Yue reached out to take it, and turned to depart. But then he heard the master add one more thing.
Nurturing a loyal soul like Anwei isn't easy. You must safeguard him well.
As he steadied his mind, the master's voice came from behind once again.
From now on, unless there is real danger stirring in the capital, don't bother reporting to this king.
Yes.
That night, Fu Zhuli had a rare nightmare.
In the dream,
the woman in red smiled with enchanting grace, her nimble jade hands hooking around his neck, gazing up at him.
Coach, kiss me.
Shen Nanxing, let go of me.
Song Bifang.
Mom.
Since you're not being good, then I'll kiss you.
Before the words could even land, his warm lips brushed against her earlobe. Fu Zhuli's heart raced wildly. That ticklish, tingling sensation surging through his entire body in an instant, leaving him trembling uncontrollably from head to toe.
It was you who beckoned me over.
It stirred like spring willows in the breeze, while my face stayed calm, unchanging.
Fu Zhuli jolted awake, eyes snapping open, drenched in cold sweat, only then realizing it had all been a dream. He'd had a nightmare. In the dream, it was him. With him, his body went rigid. As he glanced down at his lower body, where a small tent had unmistakably pitched itself. In the dream, he'd used that very part, and it had felt so good. The moment he realized what he was thinking, his face drained pale, then flushed with shame. Could it be that deep down he was truly so dark and depraved, knowing full well a eunuch could never know intimacy? Yet, in that dream, he'd sullied him in such a way.
This is the deed of separation. I prepared it last night. Since you're so set on leaving me, I'll hand you the deed right now. But will you save Beiyue first? The eastern invaders are closing in, and the court has no generals left to turn to. You're a woman, true, but a battle-hardened general all the same. In Beiyue's darkest hour, I'm begging you to step up one more time. Save Beiyue, won't you?
Shen Nanxing reaches for the envelope, draws out the Xuan paper within, and scans it carefully.
This deed of separation bears no official seal, so it holds no weight. Prince Jing thinks he can fool me.
I suggested we draft this deed, so how could I be trying to trick you? You yourself raised the matter of separation in the Grand Hall, and Father Emperor forbade it. With the eastern forces invading at this very moment, he is already weighed down with worry. I'm a prince, and a separation like this needs the government's seal, which means it has to pass through Father Emperor. If we approach him about it now, he won't approve. That is certain. He might even turn his frustration on you. But if you lead the troops into battle and drive those eastern invaders out of Beiyue, it'll be a heroic deed. Then you can take the deed to get it stamped. And Father Emperor will have to consent. I've already signed this deed, leaving my signature in your hands. When the time comes, just take it straight to the officials for the seal. No need to loop me in again. This way, you can rest assured, can't you?
Shen Nanxing nodded, carefully refolded the divorce decree, and tucked it into her bosom.
Why have the Donglai hordes suddenly invaded?
The Donglai kingdom sprawls across the barren Huamo wastes, mingling with the savage western tribes. Our North Yue's fertile lands have long been their obsession. Their covetous eyes, fixed on our prosperous realm. What madness has seized them this time?
Just last year, North Yue sealed a peace treaty with Donglai, and only months have passed since then. How could they strike so soon? Or has some schemer set this in motion?
The Donglai Lord's greed knows no bounds. Ever faithless to his word, wouldn't betrayal be just like them? Mull it over. This prince has urgent affairs to attend. I'll not linger.
With that, without awaiting Shen Nanxing's reply, he strode off in disdain. Shen Nanxing gazed at his retreating figure, her dark eyes shadowed and inscrutable, harboring a seething hatred deep within. In her past life, the Donglai forces launched their full assault only after half a year's delay. This time, it has come far too early to claim there is no conspiracy at play. She'd never believe it.
Attendants, prepare my attire.
The air in the imperial court hung heavy and still. The North Yue Emperor's face darkened like ink on the verge of spilling. All the civil and military officials bowed their heads low in silence, silent as cicadas in winter. The court that is usually alive with heated debates. Today, you could hear a pin drop.
Weren't you all so full of words on ordinary days? Why are you all speechless now? Now the eastern invaders advance with ferocious momentum, seizing our border towns and slaughtering our people. In my vast North Yue realm, I can't even muster one soul to lead troops against them. What a farce. Truly, the bitterest jest of all.
Old Marquis Shen let out a soft sigh and stepped forward from the ranks.
Your Majesty, this old servant begs to lead 100,000 troops to drive the eastern invaders from North Yue soil and restore peace to our North Yue. Lord Shen, you are advanced in years and have waged war for the realm for so many years. Your vitality already sorely depleted, and now with your recent ailment, how could I send you into battle? Out of the question. We'll just have to recall General Wu.
Father Emperor, enough clinging to doubts. Let me go.
Absolute. Not.
Father Emperor, Shen Nanxing though, but a mere girl, took to the field at 8 and felled enemies. I am already 13, and long to ease the burdens of the state. What could possibly stand in the way? Though I have yet to face the battlefield, in these years I have delved deep into the arts of war and tactics, and of late my martial prowess has grown by leaps and bounds. Even Prince Lai has sung my praises. I am now 13 years old, and already old enough to stand as a man. Imperial Father, will you send me forth then?
The Emperor of Northern Yue pondered a moment, but still shook his head. No, it won't do.
I shall dispatch General Wu instead. Your Majesty, General Wu holds Shanghai Pass, our crucial bulwark against Western Ning. Should General Wu pull back, this old servant fears Western Ning will strike while we're exposed. This old servant knows of your Majesty's compassion. My health fails me. Yet for one more clash in the southeast, These old bones of mine can still endure. Your Majesty, allow me to speak again. Ever since the chaos tore through Western Ning 16 years past, when their second prince sought refuge in our northern Yue, only to perish from famine amid our lands. Their emperor has nursed a grudge against northern Yue ever since. These years, they've harried Maishan Pass without cease. Despite a peace treaty we inked, yet breaking pacts is commonplace among the four realms. Minister Guo submits that, to ward off Western Ning's ambushes, General Wu must not abandon Maishan Pass. So, what course do you counsel? This path barred, that one blocked. The elders who step forward are too frail. The youth's too green. Has Northern Yue truly no one left to call upon? Then, perhaps we send the 9000 hero.
The Beiyue Emperor remained silent, his expression growing ever darker. No matter how capable Julie is, he is still just a eunuch. Sending a eunuch like that to lead troops into battle, the three kingdoms would laugh us to death.
His Majesty turned to the Lady Minister, who pleaded to take the field.
All eyes turned toward the palace doors, where a woman in striking red battle armor strode in boldly. Reaching the center of the hall in moments, she dropped to her knees.
Your Majesty, you mustn't send her against Donglai. Xining and Nanjiang have no precedent for women leading men into battle. That time, with the Princess of Jin on the front lines, it was only because she hid her true identity as a woman. Now that her secret's out and we know she is a woman, how can we send her back to command the troops? What will the three kingdoms think of us if we do this? North Yue's honor will be in tatters.
Your Majesty, we face a dire crisis for the realm right now, driving the Donglai invaders from our borders, shielding our North Yue people from the horrors of war. That is what truly matters most. If I lead the troops this time, and we win, won't it be Donglai who loses face? They couldn't even defeat a single woman.
Then I appoint you cavalry general at the head of 100,000 troops. Drive the Donglai forces from North Yue. Set out in 3 days. Time! And I shall host your farewell banquet myself!
The Lady Minister accepted the command.
As I stepped out of the Grand Hall, it felt like a lifetime had passed in an instant. In my past life, I'd stepped up just like this to accept the command. Down to every word I'd spoken, it was identical. It wasn't until after I'd said it all that I realized our words mirrored each other exactly. Even Censor Liu's reaction was a perfect echo of that previous life. So what about the outcome that followed? I shook my head sharply. No, not this time. In this life, I'd already foreseen who the traitors were, and I could stop them before they struck. There was no way I'd let history repeat itself.
Lanxing, are you sure about this battle?
My heart skipped a beat, and when I turned around, there was grandfather gazing at me with deep concern. I bit my lower lip, whispering to myself inside.
It is fine. Don't be afraid. I'll go into this battle by your side.
Lanxing, you're not afraid, are you? I'll go into this battle by your side.
Grandfather.
In my past life, on the very day I'd volunteered for the fight, grandfather had said these exact same words. But that very night, he'd fallen gravely ill. In the end, he hadn't been able to join me. This time around, the day had come half a year sooner than before. Would grandfather fall ill again?
Oh, you're no kid anymore. So why are you still bawling like a little one?
Grandfather, I'd like to stay at the Marquise's residence tonight.
Okay. Then I'll have someone inform the Prince of Jin.
With war looming now, the matter of his divorce from Shi Tingyu. Better keep that from grandfather for the time being. Shen Nangxing pored over the terrain with his grandfather, discussing military strategy deep into the night, until he noticed grandfather stifling yawn after yawn, clearly exhausted beyond measure, before finally helping him off to bed. Grandfather was out like a light the moment his head hit the pillow, his breathing steady and even, his face calm as ever. That is when Shen Nangxing finally relaxed and retired to the next room.
Thankfully, grandfather stayed well through the night.
The next morning, Shen Nangxing rose with the dawn, picking at his breakfast, his mind elsewhere. He racked his brain for some excuse to convince grandfather to remain safely in the capital. This battle ahead was perilous enough, and grandfather was already in fragile health. How could he let the old man throw himself into the fray again?
Young master, the old Marquis Shen has taken ill. What is it?
Shen Nangxing's face drained of color as he shot to his feet, stumbling in haste toward the courtyard where his grandfather lay. The old man lies quietly on the bed, his eyes tightly shut, his face pale with a bluish-gray tint, showing none of yesterday's robust vigor.
Grandfather! Grandfather! Please wake up! It is me, Nangsing! Look at me! What is really going on here? He was perfectly fine just last night.
Seeing Fu Yi finish, taking the pulse and withdraw his hand, she turned back to Fu Yi.
Doctor, how is my grandfather? He was doing well right before bed last night. And now this after just one night's sleep.
Your Highness needn't worry. The old Marquis has simply caught a chill. I'll prescribe a few doses of medicine, and as long as he takes them on time each day, he'll be on the mend in just over a month.
Just wait and see.
Your Highness' concern has clouded your judgment. The old Marquis's prognosis is clear to me. I've been attending to the old Marquis here in the estate for over a decade myself, so I wouldn't misdiagnose a minor ailment like this. Just rest easy, Your Highness.
But if it is just a chill, why does grandfather look so deathly pale?
Lord Shen sustained many injuries in his early battles, which ultimately damaged his constitution. And now, with age catching up, even a simple chill naturally appears far more severe than it would in an ordinary man.
In that case, no need to thank you, Dr. Shika.
After Fu Yi left, Shen Nangsing instructed someone to fetch the medicine, but his heart remained uneasy. If it were truly just a chill, why this uncanny timing? Yuanning picked up on his suspicions.
Boss, how about I take a look at the old Marquis for you?
You know medicine too.
Back when I was in training, I showed a knack for identifying herbs just by ear, so my master had someone specially train me in it. My skills don't hold a candle to the old divine healer from Nether Valley, but they're a cut above your average physician.
Then go ahead and check on my grandfather.
So he steps forward and takes the old Marquis's pulse. But as he feels it, his expression turns grave.
No, old Marquis Shen isn't just suffering from a simple chill. He has been poisoned. This poison mimics the pulse of a common cold perfectly.
Does it harm the body at all?
Shen Nansing fell silent. If it is harmless to the body, then what is the poisoner's real aim with grandfather? Autumn, Aunt Tang Yongqiu, sits in her chair, with Shen Zhiyi behind her, kneading her shoulders. The maid who just reported old Marquis Shen's collapse has left mother's chambers.
Now grandfather won't make it to the battlefield, leaving no one to shield that wretched woman.
It is not just about missing the battlefield. That old man's not long for this world.
What do you mean, mother? Didn't the servant girl just say grandpa only caught a chill? Isn't that so?
That old man's been poisoned, though the symptoms look just like a chill. In truth, his vital organs are ravaged inside, his body wasting away bit by bit. He won't last much longer.
Did you poison him? Mother, but that is grandpa. How could you?
You may treat him like family, but when did he ever show you kindness? If he hadn't stood in the way, your brother would have been the Marquis's rightful heir by now. Mark my words. A moment's weakness can doom the whole plan. To get ahead in this world, you can't afford a soft heart. Whoever blocks our path deserves to die.
Does father know yet? Aren't you worried that if father ever finds out, he'll hold it against us?
You needn't fret over him.
Stepmother, when will grandfather wake up?
Otherwise, the old Marquis frets too much day to day, and now that he has fallen ill, his body's finally letting go. So a deep sleep for 3 to 5 days is just what he needs. It'll do him a world of good.
Grandfather, your granddaughter wanted to bid you farewell, but now it seems there is no time for that. Rest well and regain your strength. Granddaughter will drive the Southeasterners from the northern courtyard this time. No doubt, and I'll return safe and sound before you know it.
She lingered by her grandfather's bedside for another half hour before rising.
Stepmother, can you hold down the fort alone?
My lady, my poison craft far outstrips my healing arts.
So let's turn their own tricks against them. Give them a dose of their own venom. For this campaign, I'll take the 4 godfathers along. As for you and Nuanan, you'll stay behind in the marquisate, under your cover as guardians, keeping a close watch over grandfather's stepmother. Should any trouble prove too much to handle, send word straight to the 9000.
Yes.
Help me get a letter off to the 9000-year-old. Tell him to meet 5 days hence, at noon. I'll be waiting at the Lishi Ancient Pavilion.
After Shen Nansing settled the first contingent's plans, she left the Nanyang Marquisate. Before marching out, she had one last matter to see to. Lang Yue of the Liangzhou Yamen clutches a letter in her hand, pacing back and forth outside Lord 9000's temporary study. After pacing about 20 rounds, an impatient voice from Lord 9000 finally rings out from the study.
If you've got something to say, get in here.
My lord.
A letter from the capital warns of potential danger
Miss Shen is heading out on an expedition to breach the caves. Does that count as danger? It doesn't seem like it. After all, this isn't her first time on the battlefield, and she has always returned victorious before. But Miss Shen wants to meet with my lord. How can I not report that? But last time, my lord laid down the rule for capital matters. No danger, no report. She finds herself caught in a real bind, truly at a loss for what to do.
Am I deaf or something?
Fu Zhuli grips his brush, waiting a good while. Yet no reply comes. Ever since Lang Yue started pacing restlessly outside just moments ago, he has been absorbed in reviewing this very memorial. And now she has done 23 full rounds. He is still poring over that same memorial.
If Qingcheng faces no peril, there is no need to bother me with reports.
Lang Yue dares hesitate no longer, and bolts from the study like a streak of smoke.
Miss, you've arrived.
Do you recognize me?
Apart from that one glimpse of grandfather as a child before I was abducted, he has never set foot in this town since. So how could this servant possibly know who I am?
Of course. It is not just me, this servant. Every gatekeeper at the east gate, side gate, and all the entrances knows you on sight. Miss.
But why?
The Duke had a painter make your portrait, so we'd all have to commit it to memory. And the moment we spot you coming, we escort you right inside, without a second's delay. These portraits get updated every year, and I've got stacks of them right here.
Shen Nanxing 怔住了, tears brimming in her eyes in that very instant. Amnesia be damned.
Could I take a look at those portraits?
Of course. Miss, please follow Lu Zai this way.
Shen Nanxing followed the servant into a small room nearby, watching as he pulled a bundle of about a dozen rolled-up portraits from a large chest with trembling hands. She took hold of them, some on paper yellowed with age, others worn but still serviceable, and the newest ones crisp and fresh.
Miss, you'd best come with this servant to see the Duke right away.
The Duke gave strict orders that if you ever showed up, we were to bring you straight to him without delay. The young servant led Shen Nanxing straight to the Duke's study.
No idlers allowed near the study. Keep out.
Open your damn eyes and take a look. Does she look like some kind of idler to you? This is the young lady of our Duke's household.
The two guards exchanged a glance, swapping skeptical looks.
Get lost now.
What young lady of the Duke's household? That gatekeeper's full of hot air. Anyone can see it. Our Duke's mansion doesn't have any young ladies like that.
I am Shen Nanxing of the Marquis of Nanyang's household, and I've come today, especially to see my little uncle.
Oh, it is Miss Shen. Forgive my rudeness. I'll go announce you right away. Don't come in.
Little uncle, what is wrong?
He'd just heard a strange noise from the study, so maybe little uncle had taken a tumble. Inside the study, Xu Shenjie struggled to rise, expending great effort before settling back into his chair, then lifted his sleeve to wipe the sweat from his brow. Once his breathing steadied, he finally spoke calmly to the outside.
Nanxing, come in.
Shen Nanxing, already impatient from waiting, the moment she heard her little uncle invite her in, she darted into the study in a flash.
Little uncle.
The moment Shen Nanxing spoke, his voice caught in his throat. Though he hadn't meant to break down like this, just moments ago outside, he'd been holding it together fine, but for some reason, the instant he laid eyes on his little uncle, a flood of buried grievances welled up inside him.
Nanxing, why the tears? Did someone mistreat you? Tell your little uncle, and I'll stand up for you.
Little uncle, please don't worry. No one's wronged me. These are just tears of joy at seeing you. Did you have someone paint these portraits?
All these years, your mother has held a grudge against us, and forbidden you from seeing us. We didn't dare show up, unannounced at your door, lest we stir up her anger all over again. We worried you'd buy into her side of the story, and shut us out for good, yet we clung to a sliver of hope. That one day you might remember us, or come seeking solace in your own hurt. What if you decided to come to the Duke of Jin's mansion, afraid the gatekeepers might not recognize you, and turn you away? So we had these portraits made and hung at the gatehouse. See, and here you are.
Nanxing, your unfilial niece has arrived late.
Nanxing, what on earth are you doing? Someone, help the young lady to her feet.
The two guards outside the door heard the command and started to step in, but a figure zipped past them and beat them to it. Once the young servant had helped her up, he quickly stepped aside, noticing everyone staring right at him, and his face flushed bright red on the spot.
Your Grace, Miss, I'm so sorry.
I just heard your grace give the order, and thought you were calling for me. The servant cracked a smile, quick as a flash.
So, what is your name then?
Miss, this servant's name is Shaito. Mother said it means I'll have a tough, unyielding life.
In a few days, I'll be marching off to fight the eastern invaders. Would you come along with me?
General, there are no little uncles among your men.
Nangsing set her sights on this young servant of yours, so you'll have to let him go.
Anything Nangsing wants. If her little uncle has it, how could I possibly hold back? In a moment, I'll have your little aunt bring you his indenture.
This servant thanks your grace.
石头是的, right. Once you're out on the battlefield, put General Shen above everything else. Follow General Shen's every word. Got it?
Yes.
Get up. All right, then. Your grandmother misses you and your mother every day. Why not go pay her a visit? Plus, your eldest uncle's off duty today and home for the day. He'll be over the moon to hear you're here.
Isn't little uncle coming along?
Little uncle's got some pressing matters to handle. You go on ahead. He'll catch up soon enough. 石头, we'll show the young miss the way.
Should I bring a few attendants? As soon as they stepped out of the study, Duke Shu's face contorted in agony. It hurt like the devil.
Young miss, from what I could tell on the way, the Duke's hurt. He was gritting his teeth through it the whole time. He must have been trying to keep it from you.
You've got sharp eyes.
You knew, didn't you, miss?
But since little uncle didn't want me finding out, I'll just play along and act like I don't.
Shen Nengxing followed Shito all the way to Xian Hall, her grandmother's quarters. They'd barely reached the entrance when a sharp clink echoed from inside.
Xiaokong, you're not a child anymore. How can you still be so bungling? What have you gone and spilled this time?
Madam, look who is here.
Grandma Hua, it is me, Nengxing.
Oh, my dear Nangsing!
Grandma Hua, is Nengxing here?
Nangsing!
Grandma Hua.
The old lady calls out again and again, as Shen Nengxing answers back each time.
Old madam.
Miss Shen Nangsing. Miss Nangsing will come visit you. Good girl.
It is good. You've come back.
It is good. You've come back.
Shen Nengxing helps the old lady into the house.
All right then, your mother. How is she doing?
Don't worry about Hua Zimiu. My mom's doing just fine.
That is good. That is good. That is good.
After all these years.
She must still resent this old lady of mine. That is why she never came to see me all this time. But that Shen Yuan, he is not such a good one. Why won't he ever listen? I just can't help but feel for him. I wonder if Shen Yuan, that rascal, has been picking on her.
Grandmother, Shen Yuan wouldn't dare bully my mom. My mom is His Majesty's first-rank Madam of Qingfeng. Shen Yuan's just a 7th-rank official, nowhere near my mom's status. And now, he is tiptoeing around her like he is on eggshells, barely getting a word in edgewise with her.
That is a relief. That is good.
The whole family had dinner together, chatted for quite a while, and then Shen Nengxing put her eldest and youngest uncles aside into the study. Shen Nengxing laid out everything that had gone down in the Nanyang Marquise's mansion lately. When they heard Xu had been poisoned, both uncles blew their tops.
What the hell is Xing Yuan playing at? Back then, he was the one begging to marry our little sister. Down on his knees before us, swearing he'd cherish her for life. Vowing never to take a concubine. That is the only reason we let her marry down to him. Otherwise, with that useless fool who couldn't hack it in civil service or the military, if it weren't for how devoted he seemed to her, and her actually fancying him, there is no way we'd have handed our little sister over. He seemed so sincere back then, all on his own. And now he has turned into this monster, beyond recognition. Actually, letting that concubine of his poison our little sister. If your mom hadn't been shielding him, I'd have ruined him a decade ago. And he has been deceiving Shou Mei from start to finish.
I suspect Shen Yuan isn't my real father.
The words hung in the air, and silence enveloped the room.
Young man, your mother was spoiled rotten growing up. Sure, her temper's a bit willful, but she knows right from wrong, the basics of propriety and honor. She'd never stoop to something like that. You must have gotten the wrong idea.
Shen Nengxing froze for a moment, but after a quick think, it clicked. You've got it all wrong, little uncle.
Little uncle, that is not what I meant at all.
Didn't you just say you suspect Shen Yuan isn't your father? What third brother Nengxing means is, The Shen Yuan we have now is an imposter.
Shen Nanxing's face grew grave, and he nodded.
This! How could that even be possible? How could Shen Yuan possibly be a fake? If the Shen Yuan now is a fraud, then where's the real one gone? Nanxing, what in the world is going on here?
Shen Nanxing then told his two uncles about discovering Shen Yuan's martial arts skills.
Besides that, I always feel like the shift in Shen Yuan's attitude toward Niang is just way too drastic. Though I've never seen how Dad treated Niang back in the day, I've heard Niang talk about it plenty of times. And all those details from Aunt, when you piece them together with the Shen Yuan we see now, I just can't shake this eerie feeling that something's off with all of it. It doesn't line up at all with the man he is today. But that is not even the half of it. Even a tigress wouldn't turn on her own cub. Yet Shen Yuan couldn't care less about brother's death. And that is just plain unnatural. It is almost like as if brother and I weren't even his sons.
Paused for a moment, then held back from saying Shen Yuan had killed brother. Afraid that if it came out, those two uncles might charge off and butcher Shen Yuan right then and there. If it came to that, Niang might never forgive the uncles for the rest of her life. We have to let her see that man's true face for herself.
Big brother, do you remember the year Shen Yuan showed up at our door to ask for little sister's hand after he left? We three brothers cornered him in that alley and gave him a proper thrashing. I remember how we three brothers beat him black and blue, left him stumbling like a drunk, his head swollen with lumps all over. And the guy knew martial arts. He really didn't know any martial arts.
Could he have been pretending not to know martial arts?
That is impossible. Big brother, how are you so certain? I actually think what you said makes sense. Maybe back then he pretended not to know martial arts just to marry little sister, pretending he had no skills, letting us beat him on purpose. When Shen Yuan and little sister were strolling in the suburbs, I had someone test him, and he really didn't know any martial arts. So that time Shen Yuan got stabbed in the hand during the assassination attempt, that was your hired man. That was after he was stabbed. He recuperated for a full half year. So, when he came back later on crutches to propose to little sister, I agreed. At least, we can be sure that Shen Yuan at the time absolutely had no martial arts skills. If he knew martial arts, even at just an average level, dodging that crude assassination attempt without any finesse would have been effortless. Shen Yuan truly loved your mother back then, loved her to his very core. Otherwise, I wouldn't have agreed to let her marry him. But just a year after their marriage, your mother discovered he was keeping a concubine. That wasn't normal at all. If the current Shen Yuan is an imposter, then 18 years ago, when your pregnant mother discovered Shen Yuan's concubine, it would mean this fake Shen Yuan had already replaced him.
Then my father...
If our earlier speculation is true, then the real Shen Yuan is probably long gone, with slim chances of survival. If you hadn't mentioned today that he knew martial arts, I'd really have taken Shen Yuan for ruthless, heartless brute. Now, I'm afraid I've wronged him.
To protect my mother, a man who threw away his own life, how could he possibly keep a mistress? No wonder. I've never seen in her eyes even a flicker of affection for us, her and her two sons.
Lan Xin, these are just our guesses, not necessarily the truth. Listen to your little uncle, don't be sad anymore, all right?
Big uncle, where exactly did that sword strike my father back then? A wound that severe is bound to leave a scar. Figuring out if Shen Yuan is really... My father couldn't be simpler. We just need to see if he bears that scar.
In the dead of night, Shen Nanxing slips on his black night walking garb, deftly evading the Hao-mention guards, leaping across eaves and walls to perch on the rooftop. He hunkers down quietly on the roof, ear pressed close to catch the sounds from below. The man's ragged breaths and the woman's soft moans drag on for ages before finally dying down. Then comes the rustle of settling into bed, followed by footsteps. As Shen Yuan heads off to bathe, Shen Nanxing grits his teeth, reaching up to pry loose a tile above the bath chamber. But just as his fingers graze the tile, a strong hand slams down over his, thwarting his attempt. Whipping around, he spots another black-clad intruder, face shrouded in dark cloth, crouched right beside him. No time for second thoughts. Shen Nanxing lashes out with a fierce punch from his free hand, straight at the masked man's face, only for the black-clad figure to snag his fist with ease.
Spying on an old geezer in the bath.
Let go.
You tell me first. Why the hell you're peeking at an old man bathing?
You let me go first, then I'll spill it.
I swear.
Shen Nanxing nods vigorously, but the moment the black-clad man loosens his grip, Shen Nanxing's hand shoots toward that tile. On the verge of flipping it up, But the black-clad man reacts even faster, beating him to the punch and clamping down on his hand again. Shen Nangxing nearly chokes on his own breath. So damn close, just a hair's breadth away, and I could have seen it all.
Out with it. What are you so desperate to see? Maybe I can lend a hand.
No thanks.
I can peep just fine on my own. Can't I?
You stay out of it.
I have to see it.
No way around it.
Shen Nangxing lowered his gaze, deep in thought, though he had no idea who this man in black was, or why he was blocking him from watching Shen Yuan bathe. His instincts told him the man meant no harm, since he couldn't beat him in a fight, and words wouldn't sway him either. He had no choice but to ask. Then help me peek inside. Does that man have a scar on the right side of his chest? The man in black nodded at his words, and quietly lifted the tile. Peering within, Shen Nangxing sat beside him, waiting. Yet it felt like an eternity. Only then did the man in black look up, gently replacing the tile.
There's a scar on the right side of his chest.
It is just as described.
And it looks like it has been there for years.
The light in Shen Nangxing's eyes faded completely. Could this Shen Yuan really be his father? All his earlier doubts, proven wrong. 1,000 tangled thoughts churned inside Shen Nangxing. Splitting his head with agony, the truth stared him in the face. Shen Yuan was his father. Yet deep down, he refused to accept it. Seeing him clutch his head, in evident torment, the man in black struck swiftly, a single palm to knock him out cold. Then, he carried him back to his quarters. The next morning, Shen Nangxing's eyes snapped open, and he sprang up from the bed.
Master, you're awake. Let me help you freshen up.
Nuana, how did I get back last night?
Master, did you go out last night? After you turned in last night, I got worried about the Elder Marquis, so I went to check on him again. By the time the Elder Marquis got back, you were still fast asleep.
Shen Nangxing smacked his forehead, and it all came rushing back. He'd woken up in the dead of night last night, by which time Nuanan had probably already headed to grandfather's quarters. But when Nuana returned, he'd already slipped back ahead of him, so it must have been that black-clad figure who brought him home. But just who was that black-clad man? He got him all the way back to his own courtyard, which means he must know him pretty well. And that gaze from the black-clad man, it stirred an inexplicable sense of familiarity deep inside him, making it far too easy to drop his guard. But racking his brain over it, he still came up empty. Forget it. Who cares who he is? At least, as long as he harbors no ill intent. Shen Nangxing shook off the nagging thoughts, and after a hasty wash-up, he set off alone once more for the Duke of Zhenguo's mansion.